ahead.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, episode 83. Tonight we're going to talk about Mario power-ups and more. Hello, friends. I am Andros, and I am joined by my fellow Nintendo Pals host, Micah.
Yep.
And Micah, how the heck are you?
I'm doing good.
What games are you playing?
I'm playing. That's it.
I'm playing through Kirby a lot. I've gotten through 3 levels. I've not gotten enough for the 3 level boss. I've almost got enough. Are you playing Kirby?
Yeah, Lucas. I am playing Kirby.
April Fools!
Yeah, April Fools.
Yay, April Fools. That wasn't us. What?
Yeah.
No way. Oh, we are here, Micah, and I already asked you how you were doing, and you said,
You
I'm
did
doing
indeed.
good. So, yes, welcome to this special April Fools episode of Nintendo Pals Podcast. Huge shout out to my little kiddos for stepping in and being Andros and Micah for an intro. Nintendo kiddos. We have a packed show tonight, but I wanted to kick it off with a goofy April Fool's joke. But you know what's not a joke, Micah? 5-star
Nope.
reviews. 5-star reviews, because Micah, we got 5 new 5-star reviews this week. That is right. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 new 5-star reviews. 4 anonymous reviews. So we got 3 total on Apple, and I'm just gonna hear 2 on Apple and 3 on Spotify. That's a 5. Do you want to read off the one we got on Apple from Starl Clan? I think that's how that's pronounced. Star L Clan.
Suppose I can do that? Yeah, titled Amazing Podcast! ! So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm a pretty new listener to this podcast, and I'm so glad I added this podcast to my list. I enjoy hearing the opinions and discussions on this podcast. Overall, a wonderful podcast. I totally recommend. And then 2 exclamation marks.
They're pretty excited, you know. Thank you so much for the glowing review, Star Clan. We really appreciate that. Hopefully they're pronouncing your username correct.
Yeah, we wondered about that a little bit.
It has an L in there after star, so I'm pronouncing it Starl, like Carl, but with a star. Starl Clan.
And a T.
Yeah.
No T in Carl.
Like, yes, I said Carl with a star. Yeah, and a T. There's a T in there. Just make sure there's that you guys know.
I just want everyone to know there's a T in the name.
Thank you so much
Very
to
important to
everybody
me.
who left us 5-star reviews this week. That is insane. 5 new reviews. We wish we could shout out everybody who left us an anonymous review, but they're anonymous, so we can't. But we really appreciate it, and thank you. If you want to be an awesome Nintendo pal, like these awesome Nintendo pals, you can also leave us a 5-star review. You can do that on Apple Podcast, Podchaser, Spotify, and Audible. Links to all that are in the description of the show. Please, please, please. It helps us get discovered by new people. We're getting new reviews like every week. And at this rate, we're going to be the most rated podcast in the world. Eventually, right? If we get one a week.
If every other podcast also doesn't gain any more reviews ever.
Oh, but thank you so much in our quest for podcast conquest. That makes it sound like we're trying to take over other podcasts. That's not.
I mean,
That's,
you
no,
do
no.
say we're trying to take over the world like all the time, so
I do.
it's kind of in line.
It is in line. Conquest. That's my mentality. We're taking over the world. Oh man. To help us do that, you can also check out our YouTube and Twitch channels, where you can drop us a follow and a sub, because we are shooting for 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and 1,000 followers on Twitch, and we can only do that with your help. There you go. Even if you're not into the whole Nintendo Pals taking over the world thing, it's still cool if you help us out. Just toss a 5-star review over there. But anyways, Micah, let's dive right into the show and hop into the first segment. What you playing? Micah, you and I are playing the same game right now.
We are indeed.
I think we should kick things off talking about that. Or do you want to end with that one, because we're both.
I mean, we've already almost mentioned it, so we might as well.
Let's bring it in. We received some codes for a new game that just launched today as the date of this recording. tERRORbane, which is I'm going to give this a terrible description here, but it is an indie game where you are playing through a very bug-filled game. Bug-filled being glitches, not ants and spiders and things of that nature. Someone's going to come in the comments and be like, spiders aren't bugs. Those are arachnids.
Yeah,
sure.
You fool.
I'm not talking about that stuff. We're not talking about the creepy crawlies.
The Nintendo Pals name.
We're talking about bugs and glitches. Now, this game it is a very witty and funny narrative. It gives me the vibes of There Is No Game. If you didn't play that one, did you?
I haven't played that, but they seem similar.
Yeah. And I'm really digging it. It is so funny. I don't know, Michael, what are your overall thoughts so far?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's right up my alley, because you kind of need to explore lots of nooks and crannies to like find these bugs and things. So it's also kind of like a collectathon, but you're collecting all these bugs and broken things that go in your like journal thing, and you need to like find enough of them to prove to the developer of the game that it's broken.
Because the developer is in denial, and he's there the whole time through like a remote connection, and he'll like be coding things into the game as like you're playing. And he's like, this is the greatest game ever made. It's like There Is No Game, but flip side, where the narrator is incredibly overconfident in the project instead of trying to just like, oh, there is no game here. He's like, oh, this is the greatest game you'll ever play. You got to play this. Everyone has to experience this. We'll kind of dive into a little bit here on I guess the beginning. Did you sit through the entire scroll at the beginning? The story scroll.
The first time through.
Same. And
it's so long though.
It's incredibly long, and then afterwards it gives you an award that's like incredible patience.
Yeah.
Have you played through multiple times?
Not all the way through a second time. I've jumped around to the starting places a couple times again though.
Yeah, okay. That's exactly where I'm at in my playthrough as well. This game is definitely designed to be played more than once.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's pretty short playthrough, but there are branching paths within that like change the story up. Not like it doesn't change the entirety of the story. It's more like you have your start, and then you can split into like 4 options, and then those all meet at a point, and then that splits into 4 options, and those all meet at a point. But there's just a really fun aspect to like looking for those different paths.
Yeah.
So, for example, that intro scroll, which gives you the story of the game, if you hit the skip button, the developer jumps in. He's like, I spent 2 months on this. What are you doing? You can't just
Yeah.
skip this. I just put that in there to be nice. How could you? He's like, he is so distraught. And then he makes you sit through. He makes you sit through it, or you can continue to try and skip it and break the intro. It gets glitchier and glitchier the more you try and skip. It's very funny.
Yeah, and then there's a nice little rhythm game section part right at the end.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that one? Oh well.
Nope. Nope.
It's
Oh
just
man.
yeah, it'll
Did you get?
there's so many random things. I ended up in a card realm at some point.
Yes, I did that too. Okay, well, because what happened for that part is you died. You're forced to die, and the game over screen gives you it's like continue, and your options are yes and yes, but with more cards. And I was like, why would I not pick that option?
Oh, for real.
Now I kind of want to play again to that point so that I can see what it is if you just say yes. Oh,
Yeah,
the
there
whole
are
card.
so many references to things because I mean it was like it's totally Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. They have references. I saw a reference to Crazy Taxi. There was a reference to Warcraft. Like they had this little town hall with these guys collecting wood and running back to it over and over again. Just like little bits and bobs here. Some of the characters you talk to. It is very, very satire, self-referential, and
Yeah, I think I even saw something for League of Legends.
oh, did you?
Yeah,
That's weird.
one of the
What
items from League of Legends was purchasable in this, well, technically purchasable in a shop.
the thing about it is, like Micah and I both playing this. We're talking yesterday, and we're like, "Oh, did you see this?" And we're like, "No, I had no idea that was a thing." And there were so many things like that. Micah just mentioned a rhythm game. I haven't seen that. Did you get to the text-based adventure?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh yeah, that was really interesting. I broke the game to the point that the developer's like, "Well, I have this old thing that you can use while I try and get it back up and running," and it's like, what is that game where where you play? You know what game I'm talking about? It's a text adventure where you pick which direction to go.
On my like Strong Bad
It's not.
website
It
or
wasn't a strong bad
different one?
website one. But it had like a single picture in the top for this game and gave you the different options, and you have to solve puzzles in this text-based adventure just in the middle of this game because you broke the game. Zork, Ninfrendo in chat has me. That is exactly what I was thinking. Zork. That's a classic. Yeah, there's a straight up a battle bus at one point. The NPCs are very like self-aware that they're in a game. It kind of gave me Free Guy vibes. Have you seen that movie yet, Micah?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It felt very Free Guy, like same sense of humor and same like goofiness and self-awareness.
And in Whiskerberg, everyone like has mustaches. They all like mention that.
Yep.
Sometimes even the women have mustaches too.
Yeah. 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 So I can definitely say I recommend this game. It is $16 in the eShop, and I think it's worth that price for sure. But it's definitely one I can see going on sale. And if you are into games like There Is No Game, where it's sort of puzzle solvey humor. The thing about this versus There Is No Game is there is more than one way to solve a lot of the puzzles and get to the next area, which is really interesting. There's not a whole lot of gameplay. It is very it is more like you're I don't know. I don't know exactly how to describe it. You're not really like doing much gamey stuff. You're sort of just walking around and interacting with things.
Yeah, they like it portrays itself as like a turn-based RPG, but you do very, very little turn-based RPGing in that game. And when you do, it's more of like a puzzle to get something certain to happen anyways.
Yes. In the second, well, it's like second half of the game, there's random encounters, which those were hilarious. All of the different characters is like placeholder enemy, and it's like just like this really badly drawn like polyrath. That was pretty great. And the it's not you're not fighting in it looks like a turn-based game, but you're not selecting options. Instead, it turns into this like little mini game that you have to do to please the dev console. And
Oh yeah,
if you please
I
the
remember.
dev console, it lets you attack, and then your guys auto attack and take everything gets taken out in one hit. So those random encounters got a little bit annoying, but there's a point to it. Like you everything is so intentionally designed and done.
Plus, at some place you can actually turn them off if you want.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh dang it! I didn't find that. See, this game has a lot to discover, and on the surface, I thought like going through it, I thought the first time when I hit the credits, I was like, it wasn't until I hit the very end where I picked yes, but with more cards, and it actually had a bunch more cards that I was like, oh, there are more than one path. I thought everything else was sort of happening scripted, like it was very scripted.
I guess Andros has recommended it. I haven't yet, but I would definitely recommend it as well. It's just really funny, a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. So yes, definitely check out tERRORbane, and huge thanks and shout out to the developers for the publishing team for sending us codes to try that one out. We'll have a review up for that one soon-ish, soon as we can get that up. Besides that, though, Micah, what have you been playing?
Well, I got back into Legends Arceus. I managed to complete the Pokédex.
Let's go!
And
Nice.
then like complete it, getting everything to research level 10. And the last Pokemon I caught to fill my Pokédex was also the last Pokemon I got to level 10. And it was a flippin' Shieldon, because you can only get them in like distortion zones at a certain place.
Yeah.
And I never got those until post game, and I looked up, not in that area, and seen one until I like looked it up afterwards. So I just left it like running while I did other things for like an hour until I was able to catch it. Because then you catch it, and to research it to level 10, unless you get lucky and catch a heavy one, I think it is, you have to catch a second one. So I had to then wait for another one at the end of the game to get it to level 10. But besides that being kind of annoying, it was a lot of fun.
Who'd have thought that would be the hardest Pokemon to catch in the game?
For real though.
Myself, I have been playing Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, and it is great. It is a good game. It's hard to explain what makes it fun, because on the surface, it's very similar to like all Kirby games. It's not a super challenging game, but the level design is extremely smart and interesting. There's a lot of puzzle solving, exploration, and collecting. It's the levels are very linear, but there's a lot to explore within those linear levels, if that makes any sense. And then it gives a lot of replay value with the level challenges for 100%ing levels, because it doesn't tell you what the challenges are until you beat it. If you somehow do it, or like you just happen to do it in the level, then it starts to track those up. Like, for example, on a level it was like open up 5 tulips, and if you opened up one, it would start counting, and then you'd know, oh, I need to open these up.
These tulips.
Yeah, that sort of deal. And it's just so pleasant. It's visually, like, the aesthetics are just so adorable. Everything is cute in this game. And the music is amazing, probably some of the best in the series. Kirby music's always really good, but this just really got me for some reason. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, definitely a worthwhile game to pick up. Oh! I really dig the, what are they called? Star challenges, challenge roads. But they're these like small levels that are on a timer, and you are doing tight platforming or challenges with different power-ups. So it's like clear through this hammer challenge level, and you'll there's like a time to beat to get like the most stuff out of the level. Some of those get pretty tricky, and they're just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed playing those, trying to go for a better score every time.
So those are usually like more difficult than the base game,
Sort of,
or sometimes.
because you're trying to go for a speed time. Yes. Whereas the regular levels, there's no timer. Which is good because you want to explore everywhere and try and find all the secrets to everything. And I still am somehow missing like a single Waddle Dee in every level. And I want to get all of them, but I'm kind of just going through, and then I'll go back and try and find the ones I'm missing.
Oh, you gotta play through while it's still fresh to help you find that Waddle Dee.
That's probably a good idea, but I felt like that wouldn't be very exciting on stream. So so I
Fair
just
enough.
moved to the next level. Besides that, I gotta pull out the old
try and
switchy
snag
switch.
mine because I'm trying to remember what else I played.
I think that's really all I played between this episode and last. tERRORbane has been a lot of fun. That's I got hooked into that, and Kirby and the Forgotten Land is also really good.
Yeah, I guess the only other thing I played was Metroid Dread.
Also,
Played through some Dread mode.
We talked about tERRORbane this whole time, but it's tERRORbane, like to error, emphasis on error.
We probably should have mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. I didn't even ask you what you thought of the characters in that. I thought the characters were pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I played through, I didn't talk to, I did a weird path, and I didn't meet like any of these like main NPCs you talk to at the end of the game, and I had no idea who any of them were. I was like, who are these random people?
Any of them?
I met the blacksmith, and that's it. I was like, I don't know who anyone else is.
Wait, did you not have the lion dude?
Oh no, I did know him. That's right. Because then besides him, there's like Lester.
You never met Lester.
No,
that's pretty funny.
One person who was at a temple or something.
Yeah. And then the king shows up at the very end, and I was like, maybe I was supposed to meet him earlier. And yes, you can meet him in the earlier parts of the game.
Oh, yeah. He was actually one of the ones I did meet.
Oh, how? I don't understand. I'm gonna have to figure out what path you're doing. We'll have to
it
swap notes here.
Dying really fast. I was like, I saw a place that looks dangerous, and then I died.
That's pretty great. Yeah. That means you didn't get the secret party members, which is a pretty funny glitch. I walked up to talk to a villager, and I was like, "Villager Maggie has joined the party." It's like, okay, she just instantly joined my party, and the bug pops up: unexpected party members. But the thing is, the story references them later. You saw that?
Yeah, I saw the reference from the first playthrough. Like, which
Ooh.
party member valiantly sacrifices themselves to save your life? It's Villager Maggie and a box of pears.
I didn't see the box of pears on my first playthrough. It's right next to Villager Maggie. So on my second playthrough, I got both of them in my party, and I got into multiple battles with them.
Oh,
and
really?
Watching their attacks was hilarious. Yeah, it was so funny.
Because I just started again. So I actually just got them in my party, but I haven't gone through like any battles yet.
Yeah, it's good. I won't spoil anything here, but there's a really fun battle that is not intended to be a battle, and it's really great how you end that one. Anyways, we've gushed about this game enough. Let's move on to unless you have any other games you want to shout out. You did talk about Metroid Dread. Sorry, I breezed over that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I mostly played TERRORbane, which I thought was Terrorblade the longest time. I don't know how I'd read TERRORbane so many times while thinking Terrorblade. And also being like, Terrorblade, that doesn't really even make that much sense. But now everything makes a little more sense.
Yeah. There's this is slight spoilers, but it's the very beginning of the game. It gives you a name, like you get to enter your name in, and you put that in, and then the developer's like, "That's a terrible name. Why would you pick that?" And so I put in Andros, and it was like, "Oh, what are they going to say? The kingdom was saved by Andros? What? Who says that?" And he's like, "I got a better name for you," and he manually overwrites your name to be TERRORbane. But the thing is, the name you put in is brought up over and over again for the rest of the game anyways. The NPCs are like, they'll say your name, and they're like, "Wait, no, you're actually TERRORbane, huh? Yeah, sorry about that." It's pretty good.
Did you ever, one last thing, did you ever get the option to change gender in the middle of your playthrough?
Yes. But it wasn't much of an option, was it?
Oh, was it not?
It wasn't for me. It was, are you a boy or a girl, with the same picture for both. Did you? Oh, so you swapped it?
I did indeed.
What
Just
what
because I
happened?
thought it'd be funny. Well, not really too much, but I don't want to spoil anything.
Oh man! Oh, now I gotta play it again. They said there's just too many options you can pick. Yeah. Well, with all this talk on what we've been playing, why don't we jump into the next segment of our show and let's talk the Nintendo news. And in today's Nintendo news, we've got a lot to talk about, actually. First off, a moment of silence as we cry because the sequel to the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has been delayed yet again till spring of 2023.
Again? Has the sequel been delayed?
Yes. Or is this the first time it's been delayed? Because I thought it was supposed to come out in 2021.
Delay.
And they said, we're working hard on it. It's not quite ready. It'll be ready in 2022.
I don't think we had a release window of 2021. Maybe some people just assumed that and it might have become a thing, or I just might be out of the loop.
Maybe I'm making that up. Maybe it's just because I wanted it really bad. But it has been delayed regardless and given the time frame of spring 2023. Micah, how do you feel about this?
Early spring. It is a bit of a bummer, but when Metroid Prime 4 was restarted, it kind of just destroyed the part of my brain that gets too upset about games being delayed. So I feel like it didn't hit me as hard as I expected it to.
You've been crushed enough to know
that it just doesn't function anymore. It just doesn't care. But I mean, it is a bummer because we're getting it like at least 4 months later, or at least 3 months, I guess, if they were actually going to release it on December 30th.
I mean, the window of spring goes from end of March till June. So we could not be seeing Breath of the Wild till next June. A year away is essentially where we're at.
We might get it in less than a year, theoretically.
Like barely, because spring starts the end of March.
I think it's supposed to start like March 20th or something.
Yeah, that would be sweet. I'm super bummed. I'm extremely bummed. I was really looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2 this year because Breath of the Wild is probably my favorite game of all time. Not just like my favorite game on Switch, but maybe my favorite game ever. And
It is very good.
it's like, what's taking so long? But I'm really glad that they are taking their time with it, and they're going to make a fantastic game. Not just released a rushed product. They are doing, hopefully behind the scenes, this is all good for
Adding
the
more stuff.
developers.
Yeah. Yeah, because it seems like for Breath of the Wild, number 1, that got delayed a lot. And I seem to remember in some interview, they were just like, yeah, we kept thinking of new things that we wanted to add. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, if you want to delay some games to just add more stuff to it, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think I'd be a little bit more upset if I was a fan and I was like 95 years old. Be like, why? I might
would
not
be
make
rough.
it. But
Goodness.
yeah, that's a morbid thought. But I'm very looking forward to this game. And you know what? This year's already stacked with things to play. If I'm being completely honest, there were like 3 other open world games coming to Nintendo Switch at the same time, with Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the new Pokemon game, Hogwarts Legacy, like Breath of the Wild in there. It's not like I'm going to be lacking things to play.
Yeah, you're not just going to be sitting there sad waiting for it to come out. You'll be
But
sitting there sad playing other games while waiting for it to come out.
But at the same time, I would have readily thrown all 4 of those into delay before Breath of the Wild. So
It's
just
so
throw
true.
that out. I'm most hyped for Breath of the Wild personally, and I know that a lot of people are. It seems like the online reception is pretty unanimous.
It's pretty understanding about it.
Yeah, it's really
nice.
cool. It's really cool to see that, honestly, that people aren't just like, no. Well, people are upset, but people aren't like rioting that we're not getting it this year. I think everybody's a little more cautious of games coming out too early. Cyberpunk.
Yep. I know
And
exactly where you're going with that.
and now people are a lot more understanding. So thank you, Cyberpunk, for changing the landscape of the fans to not want rushed games. I am all for that sort of mentality, but I also am sad. I'm a package of mixed emotions, okay? I'm sad, but I'm excited for what's coming.
Yeah, I heard it was delayed, and I was like, oh man, that's delayed. It's only like a few months. It's not delayed that much. And then I realized it's still like potentially more than a year out. And that just made it seem like so much farther away.
It's true. That's so true. Well, my guy, at least it got delayed and not just straight up canceled. Because you know what has been straight up canceled? E3 2022. They are not doing any digital event. They were really, according to industry folks that are in the know, they were very dodgy about answering whether it was really happening or not. And then, surprise, it's not. I mean, it's not really a surprise. A lot of people were kind of predicting that it looks like it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm a little sad they're not doing any digital thing for it, though.
Especially last year when they tried to make a comeback of sorts. And you remember Doug Bowser coming out and being like, "We're so excited to be here at an in-person E3 event." And there was Xbox was the same way. They were both excited to have that banding together and bringing it back.
It didn't last long.
Yeah. I have thoughts. They're sort of all over the place on this one. I was never crazy about E3 in general until we didn't have it anymore. And now I'm kind of like, I kind of miss it because Summer Game Fest, which was like the Summer Game Fest, which is Jeff Keighley's branch off. I'm doing my own E3, was 2 years in a row very jumbled and it's not like a weekend. It's not like a week that you go, okay, this is when this is going to be. And it also just didn't have the same oomph to it to me. It had great games and great presentations, and they do a fantastic job with it. But there's just something about E3's bringing everything under one roof, except for PlayStation in the latter years, but bringing everything under one roof, and that it was all in one place at one time. That was just convenient.
Yeah.
And I wish that someone could do that, like E3, not like Summer Game Fest, which is more spread and lax in their scheduling.
I just let my friends find all the cool information and tell me about it without E3.
Yeah, that's kind of what you have to do. And I do feel like losing E3 is a bummer for smaller publishers and developers who were coming to this event and getting more eyes, just because the people coming for Nintendo, for Xbox, and back for PlayStation were also seeing their games, and it was a great way, I know, for developers to connect with publishers and publishers to interconnect, and deals to start, things to start kicking off and discussions to start. I'm sure that a lot of cross-platform or platform exclusive deals originated at E3s, at booths there at the show. So we lose out on that. However, we're still going to get Nintendo Directs. We're still going to get the Xbox, I don't remember what they're called, presentations. Xbox Directs and the PlayStation Presents. So at least for us in the Nintendo land of things, it shouldn't be much different. And hopefully we'll still see a E3 timeframe direct. That's another thing. Is the direct like locked in? Nintendo's going to have a presentation on these dates, somewhere in these dates, where now they don't have that. Hopefully they'll still do one close to that time frame, but in 2021 they didn't.
Kind of, yeah. It seems like they would want to, because people are like used to getting their gaming news around that time, but who knows, maybe they want to avoid all the popular times to announce things, so they're kind of more by themselves.
Yeah, that's could be. Well, what do you think, listeners? Definitely reach out to us on Discord, Twitter, or in the YouTube comments, wherever you're watching or listening. Let us know what your thoughts are. Are you bummed that we're losing E3? I know for a lot of people, they don't even watch. They weren't even. I didn't really watch E3 all that closely until like the Wii U era, and honestly, every year I was like, oh man, it's pretty good. Nintendo always delivered pretty good stuff at E3s. Those are some of the best directs because they're just so long.
Yeah.
Plus all the Reggie skits, those were pretty great.
I miss those days.
Well, Micah, speaking of miss those days, did you miss the days of building in Fortnite? Because guess what? It's back. Fortnite Zero Build Mode has become a permanent mode in Fortnite, but build mode is back. So you can do one or the other now. I've seen a lot of chatter from people that have gotten back into Fortnite. In fact, a friend of the show, Camden Kilby, messaged me. Was like, "So Fortnite without building has brought me back in. I'm liking it now."
Yeah, I wonder how, like, what percentage is going to split between like mostly playing with building and mostly playing without.
Here's the thing: is their audience is so big that they can do that. That's crazy. That is wild. Because a lot of games would not want to split their users like that because they want to make sure that the lobbies stay full enough.
Which is why you a lot of times with games get like rotating new game modes and things.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they keep it up all the time, then they kind of die out. And then when people
Right.
want to play them, there aren't really enough.
Right, and they have to support servers for those. Yeah. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes into that. So Fortnite being able to add just another huge mode, which is it's pretty impressive. I still haven't played it.
Yeah, I've played it twice.
I need to
for,
play
like,
this
3
season.
rounds
I have so many games. I only played like 2 since last week, but I've been playing a lot of those too. Okay, and yeah, it's I want to play some. I have my little brothers just are starting to get into Fortnite, and they're like, please accept our friend request, come play with us. This has been really recent. I just haven't been on since they started.
You're
So
just being mean and not accepting their friend requests.
no, I just haven't had time. But so I'll probably be playing a lot more since my family's getting more into it. My son has always enjoyed it. So yeah, see how it goes. You want to talk this next news item?
Oh yeah, let me bring up that page again. Oh yeah, we're getting the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition coming to Switch, and I don't remember exactly when that was. I think it was pretty soon though, right?
I'll look it up. You've played this game, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's been like 3 years or something since I played it. I think I got it from some Humble Bundle. Got it for Steam, and it's just one of those surprise games. It was actually really fun. But yeah, it's kind of another weird game where it's almost game breaking. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but you're in some like weird loop, and that affects like your future loops. And there's just like a lot of weird humor and weird things you can do.
That releases
I,
April 27th, so later this month. Yeah,
yeah,
it looks.
I described that so poorly, but
The trailer
it's
they
such a
showed
weird
for
game.
it made it look like a creepy horror game.
Yeah, I don't remember it being very creepy, but that trailer did make it seem really creepy.
I've heard that it's very funny and very like witty. So I was like,
Yeah,
what? I think that was
yeah,
an odd choice for the trailer to do that.
because it's
So,
kind of like TERRORbane, how they have like the developer in TERRORbane, they have like a narrator in this, and you can listen to him or ignore him, and it can get pretty funny because of that.
yeah, that's what I thought. He like narrates your life, and you can just choose to ignore the narrator, and then he like sort of tries to keep up with what you're doing or tries to get you back onto the path he wants.
Yeah,
That is what I have heard about this game. It looks really fun. I am definitely picking it up. It's going to be $25 US in the US. So I always forget that we have an international audience here at Nintendo Pals. So I'm not sure what the conversion is, but $25 US. It's pretty good price, I'd say. For this game's pretty critically acclaimed, is really good. So exciting
I
stuff.
got a little description from Steam saying you will play as Stanley and you will not play as Stanley. You'll make a choice and you'll have your choices taken from you. The game will end. The game will never end. Contradiction follows contradiction. The rules of how games should work are broken, then broken again. You are not here to win. The Stanley Parable is a game that plays you. And I feel like that sums it up pretty well.
I am intrigued. I am very intrigued. I haven't seen any gameplay of this, and I'm not going to look up anything. That's my goal. I just saw the trailer, and was a little like, oh, should I get this? But I've heard so many good things, and know that it's not actually scary. That I'm good. I'm good.
I
I'm
mean,
getting it.
all that extra deluxe stuff.
Maybe the
The
extra
ultra
deluxe stuff is
deluxe
like
stuff might be real scary.
we just added a monster to chase you around and be all creepy.
It's essentially Alien Isolation 2.
That would be awful. That would be horrible. Oh man. So that's a new game coming to the Switch later this month, April 27th, for Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition. But new games out now on NSO. We have Dig Dug 2, Mappy Land. Those are both on NES. Pretty sure.
Maybe.
And then for SNES, we got Earthworm Jim 2. Well done. That's
Oh yeah,
that's
I'll
the cow at the
definitely
end
have
I
to
love.
play that one. I think I've played just the first one
You
on the
played the
Sega
second.
Genesis, or
You
was
played the
it
second
Sega?
one at my house because I have the second.
Oh, did
one.
I?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
I gotta find it. What? But have you played these other games?
I've played Dig Dug. I didn't even know there was a Dig Dug 2.
Same.
Because I played. It was actually on the Game Boy or Game Boy Advance, I think, actually, as part of some collection pack.
Yeah, I played Dig Dug and Mappy on a plug and play. I don't know what they're called, like a plug and play joystick game. Did you ever have those where you could? It was its own thing. It was battery powered, and it just had like I don't remember. Component cables. I don't know if component cables are the right thing. The red, yellow, white cables. You plug those into
Like
the TV.
analog or something, aren't they?
Yeah,
I don't know what
analog
they're
cables.
called.
Sure.
Close enough.
And then you can play arcade games with this little joystick and button controller. And I had one that had both Dig Dug and Mappy. So I haven't played Dig Dug 2 or Mappy Land, but I love both Dig Dug and Mappy. So I'm definitely going to be playing these. When we sat down to record, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't play these. And I'm going to go play these. Like as soon as we're done recording tonight, I'm like, I'm out. I'm gonna go play some wait, oh no, we're playing another game tonight. But after that, I'm gonna go play some Dig Dug and some Mappy Land.
You don't have to
Earthworm
sound
Jim
so
2.
disappointed.
No, I just forgot. We're doing something else after this. Earthworm Jim 2 is a fantastic game. Hilarious. All over the place, weird, and just really fun.
Have you played the original?
I haven't played the original.
Because I was
No.
wondering how those compare, because the first one's the only one I've played, I'm pretty sure.
I think they are very similar. They're very similar. But if you liked the first one, you'll also like the second one.
Yeah, I remember like kind of complaining about the games coming out so slow, but I still haven't even gotten around to playing Majora's Mask yet.
Does anybody else out there feel that way? I feel the exact same. I'm like, man,
It's
these
like 3
N64
games once
are
every
coming
like month or something. That's so slow. And I'm just like, I've played 7% of the games that have come out.
Yep. I still need to finish my playthrough of Majora's Mask. I need more hours in the day, people. Like, how do I get that? How do I get more time? We have Nintendo in chat says Dig Dug 2 is not as good as the original.
Oh,
That's
really? That's a bummer.
disappointing. That's disappointing. But I'll be the judge of that. I'll go dig some Dugs, and I'll get back to you and see if I agree. I did love the original game though. So fun.
I played that one quite a bit.
Dig Dug for Smash. That's I'm in that
Too
camp.
late now. Well, Smash Ultimate
Next one.
2?
Smash Ultimate 2. The naming, that would be so great.
Smash New Ultimate.
New Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe. Featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Yeah, I've heard new gets added to a lot of like Nintendo titles because the word looks really cool in Japanese. I don't know how true that is, but that's just something I've heard as to why they use new so much.
Yeah, it looks really tacky in English, so maybe consider just changing the title altogether for the English release.
Woo.
Woo! Super Mario Bros. That shouldn't be that funny.
So good. Even better.
Okay. And then the last bit of news we have to talk about is that a new overview trailer for the greatest game coming out in 2022, Nintendo Switch Sports. That's right, because Breath of the Wild got delayed. Now Nintendo Switch Sports has a shoe-in for my game of the year.
I think TERRORbane is gonna beat out Wii Sports for me.
TERRORbane's pretty good, but
I mean,
Nintendo
especially
Switch
because
Sports,
I'm not actually planning on getting Wii Sport or Switch Sports.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I'm gonna make you buy it. Nintendo Switch Sports overview trailer covered a lot of the information we already knew. It did discuss some like more specifics on the modes. There's one of the highlights for me is there's a bowling mode that has like an obstacle course, and there's like little ramps and bridges you have to cross with the bowling ball in order to get it. It kind of looked like a miniature golf course. I thought that was
Oh,
pretty
actually,
cool.
yeah. I mean, because they had a like a challenge mode in the original, right? Where they just had kind of walls you had to curve around. So it
Right. It's
seems like the
that
next
and
level of
more.
that.
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty cool because
Yeah.
I enjoyed that mode quite a bit.
And then it also re-highlighted that there's going to be the battle bowling, and it really just went over a lot of the details again. Just kind of like a hey reminder, this game's coming out this month and it's going to be pretty good. Also, remember that golf will be coming, and leg strap support will also be coming. So that's pretty exciting stuff. I am hopeful still that we will get more sports down the road as well.
Yeah, I also heard about the squirrel character. Is that new, or did we know about that?
That was on the website. I don't know if I talked about it in the podcast at all, but yes, there are going to be. They also talked about costumes that you can unlock for your characters, and there are going to be
This is kind of Animal Crossing ish
characters, like squirrel people.
It's just a really good, high quality costume of a squirrel.
Yes. So yeah, that's Nintendo Switch Sports. I'm gonna be using a Mii, so sorry, squirrel character. Unless I can make my Mii a squirrel character. Hey, I sure
could.
And that's all we got to cover in the news. I am so excited for this game. I'm really hopeful that we get some more sports. I'm hoping that with golf, we'll also get frisbee golf and the frisbee games. I like those.
Oh,
frisbee
yeah.
dog, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I mean frisbee golf.
I really enjoyed frisbee golf of Wii Sports.
It feels a little bit light on the
Resort.
amount of sports there are.
Yeah,
I'm I'm not gonna sugarcoat it here because I'm so pumped for this game. Wii Sports.
Yeah, it's so
Resort.
hard to not say.
Yeah, Wii Sports Resort had
Not
a
mix 'em
lot
up.
more sports in it.
Yeah,
So that's
who knows? Maybe they'll have a lot of game modes per sport or something.
right. And maybe we're getting more, and they're just kind of doing it's a very strategized release, because as much as people don't like it and they say it's releasing an unfinished game, I think Nintendo does do planned releases like this with updates that are free.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're free, I'm all for it. I mean, it's kind of an unfinished game, I guess, but you're just getting early access to it. You're not gonna have to pay more.
I guess. I don't want to get into the philosophy behind it, but it does work to keep a game going in the conversation, right?
Yeah.
In the
And it's not like
in the longevity of the life of the game.
Yeah, and it's not like the things they have in the game now aren't like finished. Each section of things they have is finished. They're just giving us more modes and more games to play.
Right.
Kind of a thing.
Right. I'm really just looking forward to online play. I think that's going to be a really neat thing to have, which was a thing on the Wii U, Wii Sports. Did you know about the Wii U Wii Sports? Wii Sports Club?
Yeah. But I didn't know anyone with a Wii U, really.
Do you have it?
No. I didn't get it.
I was going to say, does the online still work? Maybe we could play it. I don't know if it even supported anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. With them like shutting down the eShop and
the
whatnot.
eShop. I think the Wii U online is probably not a really hop in place.
But they had you set the gamepad down and it had the golf ball on it, right? And then you'd use your Wii remote. So cool. That's awesome. Don't shake your head. That's incredible.
A weird addition.
It's so good. That is the coolest
I didn't
thing.
realize. I thought you were going to come in and make fun of it. So I was coming in prepared to agree with you, and now you're like, "Oh, it's awesome."
You were going to make fun of Wii Sports Club on the Wii U?
Having a golf ball on the tablet. That's like all they use the tablet for.
It's incredible, though.
Did they use it for anything else?
I don't remember at all.
I don't think so.
I don't even remember what
Wii
games
Sports Resort
came
is
with
the
it.
best Wii Sports.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So hopefully this can meet that hype and deliver on that and more. Yeah. Well, with that, Micah, let's move over to the next segment of our show and let's jump into the rumor mill. And in today's rumor mill, maybe we should rename this segment and I should give it a new sound effect because the rumor Pikmin are active, and I want to integrate the rumor Pikmin. I like the rumor Pikmin. They have charged outside of the normal realm of Nintendo and into the realm of Activision. And there's a rumor that Call of Duty Black Ops 4, maybe that one. I don't know. Micah's kind of confirming, has been slightly confirming that off screen. Maybe
I've been doing something else.
Maybe coming to Switch. That is right. Call of Duty finally making the leap over to Switch. The reason this rumor comes from, well, first off, can we just say that all the news and rumors are brought to you today by? Wait, I'll let you do this, Micah. You had this.
Oh, yeah. It was of course, it's not going to be as good the first time I said it, but it's
Right.
All of our rumors and news and whatnot are brought to you by the letter M for Monkey Thunder.
Monkey Thunder over the Discord. Yeah, he is like the champ. He basically made this week's notes over on our Discord. So if you want to catch all these news items like right as they drop, head over to Discord, because like not just Monkey Thunder, but several people are actively posting over in our news channels. I'm posting there when I see news first. Monkey Thunder in chat pops in. He just somehow gets there first. I think his uncle works at Nintendo or something.
Don't get his uncle in trouble here.
But this rumor popped up because the servers on Activision's online services website show support for the Switch for that game specifically.
For Black Ops 4. I double checked. That's supposedly the game.
What do you think of this, Micah?
I mean, it's not that crazy. There have been a few Call of Duty games coming to Nintendo consoles. I think the last, though, was Call of Duty Ghosts on the Wii U, unless I'm mistaken, which actually is probably my favorite Call of Duty game. Not going to lie.
You have it on the Wii U.
I do. It came with Extinction instead of Zombies, which lots of Call of Duty fans will probably get upset with me, but Extinction is so much better than Zombies.
Oh, really?
It is unbelievable the difference of
I don't
how much
remember
better
what
Extinction is than Zombies.
Explain to me what Extinction is. I don't remember what that is.
You're essentially aliens instead of zombies, but they have different aliens that have different attacks and things, and you have to like defend these objective points. And they had some more DLC levels that were kind of different, but mostly the same. You have to like protect a drill from these waves of aliens attacking. But it's so much more enjoyable to me instead of just like training a line of zombies that are all essentially the same. You have these different enemy types, and you also have like classes, and you can get like different build loadouts. So it was just a lot better in my opinion. But it seems like the overwhelming majority of people are like, "This sucks. Bring back zombies."
I mean, they could bring back zombies and give them the same like variety.
If they had some more variety in the zombies. I mean, I haven't played a Call of Duty Zombies game in like 7 years, so maybe my information is outdated now.
What Call of Duty did we play together that had the top down?
Is
that Black Ops 2 or 3?
I don't remember. I want to say it's one of the Black Ops.
It has a top-down twin-stick shooter, and that is awesome.
That's the second best zombies in a Call of Duty game.
That was so fun. That needs to be a full game by itself, man. We played the heck out of that. Yeah. Anyways, I am surprised that this has not happened already. Given how successful the Switch has been selling, It's surprising Call of Duty hasn't made its way over, especially when they were on the Wii U. I think there was a hesitancy to move to the Switch because the failure of the Wii U. But I feel like that hesitancy
Yeah.
should have gone away like 2 years
Pretty
ago.
quick, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it looks like
hopefully this is true. I am all for more series and more options coming to the Nintendo Switch, because some people, this is their only console. Me, I'm one of those people. This is my only system to play those types of games on, besides my gaming PC. But and for a lot of people that aren't buying these other systems, it'll be nice to have the option.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it does pretty well, but at this point, it's already 5 years old. So I hope they're not expecting it to sell super well.
Yeah, they'll bring it out and be like,
Well,
"Wow,
this
this
is a 5-year-old
sells.
game didn't sell very well.
It's so bad. The Switch
Never
is a
again."
dead platform." Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. That's
Yeah,
not fair.
I hope it does decently well, so that they have
Yeah,
more
more
incentive
options
to do
for
this for future games.
more options for first-person shooters on Switch. I don't think there's a ton. So get some variety.
And I double checked it. Yeah, the Dead Ops arcade was in Black Ops, the original, I believe.
The original. Oh, okay. This isn't my kind of game. I don't really play first-person shooters, but cool to see it here. Let's get some Halo over here, Xbox. Let's do that. That'd be awesome.
Maybe someday.
And Friendo in chat says,
Maybe.
yeah, maybe EA could take a page out of Activision's book and come over to Switch. Like, where's The Sims? Seriously, what? It would sell so incredibly well.
I feel like Sims would be pretty good on.
Do you know how many people would convert from Animal Crossing to Sims? And
At
you know how many
least one.
copies? Yeah, do you know how many copies of Animal Crossing sold on the Switch?
At least
That game
one.
would be a home run. That game would be a home run. I don't want to like profile like, oh, everybody that plays Animal Crossing would also like The Sims. But
I mean, they're relatively simple styles of games. Not simple, similar.
Similar.
My bad.
I was like, what? I thought you were going to say similar.
These games are for simple-minded people is what I'm trying to get at here.
Wow. Wow. April Fools. April Fools.
Yeah, April Fools. Gotcha.
Oh, but they're very similar games, and I could definitely see that playing a part into The Sims doing incredibly well. Yes, bring it. Bring it. EA just needs to bring over anything. Good grief, those. What the heck are they doing over there? Like, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna release all these games on these other platforms. What about this one? It sold 100 million units. What do you need, EA? What more excuse do you need to bring your games over to this platform? I'm done. Done with my rant towards EA. And with that end of the rant, that also ends the Rumor Mill. Thank you to Monkey Thunder and to the Rumor Mill Pikmin for bringing us all of the fantastic, juicy fruits of rumor. Now let's head to the community corner. And in today's community corner, we have a couple questions. And then we have a show topic that we're very excited about. And also, it'll be interesting. So stay tuned. But first question, in honor of April Fool's Day, from Monkey Thunder, asks, this is just a Monkey Thunder appreciation episode. From Monkey Thunder asks, what's the best prank that you've pulled? Do you have an answer to this, Micah?
Not particularly. I have not pulled that many pranks. I guess kind of the best prank I've pulled is not necessarily one prank, but I would routinely pop out of places and scare one of my friends a lot. So one time
I remember this story.
Yeah. So one time,
it's not me. I am not the friend he routinely did this
else.
to.
They know who they are. But so one time they come out of the bathroom expecting me to scare them, and they're holding a hairdryer and like peeking around the corners to make sure I'm not like about to pop out and scare them, and I'm literally just straight down the hallway from the bathroom, sitting on their bed playing games still. And I just look over and see him like peeking around with this hair dryer, and I'm just like, what are you doing? And he's like, but so that was probably my greatest prank, just conditioning that one person to be afraid of coming out of anything when I was close by. At that point, I thought maybe I should tone this down just a little bit.
You know what's funny is I had my dad visiting this last weekend, and he does the same kind of stuff to me, and I instantly went back into childhood trauma mode of exiting doors and like peeking around corners. Like,
I mean, that just makes it worse practically, though.
it's
you
just
get
funny.
tense.
He did it because we were staying at like a vacation home, and we had to walk from where we were to a pool area, and it had gotten a little dark, and I opened the door outside, and I was like, with my son, I'm like, I know Grandpa's out here somewhere. And I'm like,
you go first, my child.
Yeah. No, I peeked out, and I did the thing. I didn't have a hair dryer handy, so I didn't pull that out, but I was just like,
You have your child ready to
to hit him with. And he jumped out. He got me, but I was expecting it. I still jumped.
Sometimes that makes it worse though. You're more tense that way.
Yeah.
You got to get like one of those like selfie stick things that has like a mirror on it for checking for bombs under cars or something, and peek around corners with that.
And it's just funny because my son had no idea, because I never do that with my kids. I mean, I on occasion I like to jump out and scare them, but not to the point where they're conditioned. So they were like, "What are you doing, Dad? What's happening? Why are you sneaking out like that?" Best pranks I've ever pulled. My wife really wanted a one wheel not for Christmas, but just she really wanted a one wheel, and I decided that I would get her one for Christmas. However, one wheels were very much out of our Christmas budget, so I was able to pick up a good deal on one. But I talked it up like I was getting her a bike, because that is also something that she asked for Christmas. And I made it. I very much made it seem like she was getting a bike. So then Christmas night, or Christmas Eve, I wrapped the one wheel. But to wrap the one wheel, I jury-rigged a construction of cardboard and wrapped that so that it looked like a bike. But it took an entire roll of wrapping paper around what was shaped like a bicycle, and then I slid that over the top of the one wheel, and I put that inside up against the tree after she had gone to bed. And so next day, woke up and I gave her first present, which happened to be a bicycle helmet and some elbow pad, knee pads, and stuff, which all makes sense to get a bike. And I got her pretty good. She thought she was getting a bike for sure. Had no idea she was getting a one wheel. That was my prank. Anyways, yeah, that's the best pranks we've ever pulled. Thank you so much for the question and for the fun discussion we could have here in April Fools. None of that had to do with anything Nintendo. What's the best Nintendo prank that Nintendo's ever pulled on you? Have you ever had one?
That Nintendo's ever pulled on me?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question.
They got me good with the credits to Kid Icarus Uprising.
Oh, actually, probably the ending of Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, same
the
joke.
End, question mark. And I'm like, oh, they're already planning a Donkey Kong Country 2.
Then King K. Rool gets up and beats you up. Yeah, well, the thing for Kid Icarus Uprising is that instead of just the boss gets back up, no, there's like 20 more chapters of the game, actually. So that was pretty crazy. That's a good one. The next question we have on our list, not really a question, but more of an idea that comes from Purple Ryulu and Maddie Beth on Discord, who do their own podcast. Maddie Beth does her own podcast called The Gamer Girl, so check that out on your podcast listening apps. And on their latest episode, they did a top 10 most wanted tracks in Mario Kart. And they shared the episode on Discord. And I was like, that was a pretty sweet list. And they're like, we want to see your lists. So here we are doing that. It's not a stolen idea. They suggested it. But their lists are probably better than ours. So check out their podcast.
I had to look up all these lists or like all these levels beforehand.
So what's your number 10? You don't have yours in order,
I
right?
don't have mine in order, but on the left side, I have Luigi's Mansion. Because, I mean, Luigi's Mansion is a great game, so obviously it would make a great battle arena.
I don't actually remember what this level looks like. Is this one from the 3DS? This
is from Mario Kart Double Dash. The greatest Mario Kart game ever made.
I'm looking at it. Huh. Is this a battle? Wait, is this a battle track?
Yeah, this is the.
Okay.
Course.
That's why I'm like, I've
this
never
one.
seen
Yeah, I literally
this
just like,
before.
this isn't because I was like, I don't remember there being a Luigi's Mansion track. I feel like I would remember that, but I just now realized it is apparently a battle course, which might kind of explain why I don't remember it racing on it.
Got All In podcast in chat saying agreeing with our earlier statement that we need a double dash mode. Yes.
Yeah,
I would like some more maybe that's another list we can make, more battle maps to come back. I liked all the ones where you drive on like the DS or the GameCube. I think was one. Those are fun.
I mean, it would be if they even want to take it a little bit further. If you like let the person on back like with free aim with the items or something, I think that would be really cool. Yeah, because in the first one you just had to wait for your partner to kind of line things up and then you'd shoot them. But if you had some sort of like aiming you could do.
I mean, they should have made. I think we've talked about this exact thing before, and I think this was your idea. A course that is a Joy-Con. You like you battle mode on top of a Joy-Con as a track.
Maybe
like driving around the little buttons. Maybe there's a ramp to get up onto the joystick. That would be cool. There's some fun to be had with that. I like that idea. My number 10 is Maple Tree Way for the Wii. That was where I believe that's where it's first introduced. And it's rumored to be coming in the leaks. So I'm excited for that. What's your number 9?
My number 9 is DK Summit.
I have DK Summit on my list. I have it up at number 5. I really like DK Summit. That's the snowy one, correct?
Yeah, I couldn't remember which one I like more between that one and DK Mountain, so I just put both of them on.
And are they in like the same spot then?
Yeah, they're right next to each other in my list.
DK Summit. I really like the half pipe that you do at the end, and if you like hit it just right, you can just go
skip
cruising.
Those like snow sections, right?
Mm-hmm,
like the deep snow parts. Yeah.
And you could do tricks and then come down, and there's like snowboarding shy guys in the half pipe.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
That would be a really fun one. I think that one's also rumored to be coming. My number 9, and I guess I'll give my number 8 as well, is Woohoo Loop. I can't wait.
Woohoo Loop.
Which one of these is which? I can't remember which one is which. There's Woohoo Island Loop, and then there's like Woohoo. There's 2
Woohoo Mountain Loop in Europe. One of the levels I'm looking at.
Yes, there's 2 levels. Woohoo Loop.
I have Maka Woohoo is like the volcano.
Maka Woohoo. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually my next one on my list.
Maka Woohoo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Maka Woohoo is like my number 1. I really want that one to come. I think that would be a really cool level.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really remember it much. I just think Woohoo Island's pretty cool.
Woohoo Island is really cool.
It's kind of a theme of a lot of these tracks.
You just like the location, not necessarily the track for what it is. I gotcha. So that's your number 7. My number 7, or I didn't give my number 8. My number 8 is Daisy Cruiser from Double Dash. That's a fun level, really cool design, driving around a cruise ship. Daisy owns her own cruise ship apparently, so that's cool. I really like the aesthetic of that and the level design. And then my number 7 is Calamari Desert from the N64. A classic Mario Kart level with a big train doing a loop. And if
I almost
you get
put
hit
that
by
on
the
my
train,
list just because of calamari in the name. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But my number 6 is also from Double Dash, Dino Jungle.
Oh, that's a good one. That one is rumored as well, and there's like teasers for it in Coconut Mall.
Yes.
There's signs for it.
It's got dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It's a jungle that isn't like DK themed. It's apparently Yoshi's jungle. So I've heard.
Oh,
Looking at
really?
this information I'm reading right now.
We're so professional.
But, it's got dinosaurs. What more do you need?
That's a great pick. That was your number 6?
Yeah.
My number 6 is Koopa Troopa Beach from the N64. I love the beach levels. I think they're always a really good time. And that one has a really fun shortcut that you can take a ramp up to, and it takes you through a tunnel through the mountain in the middle. So you can cut a big section off, but you need a mushroom and you have to hit it just right. And then there's also a big rock and a huge ramp that you can take to try and clear the rock, but you also need a mushroom for that. It's just a lot of opportunities for shortcuts. Yeah.
Nice.
I already said my number 5, which was DK Summit. So go ahead with your number 5.
My number 5. Guess what? It's from Double Dash. Mushroom Bridge, which potentially I've heard there might be some version of it already in Mario Kart 8 or something. But it lets you. The best part is you could drive up like the railing archway of the bridge and it has a boost on top. But you gotta be careful not to fall off. But that's like one of my core memories. Unless I'm thinking of the wrong level, but I'm pretty sure that's the right one.
Is that the one that has ongoing traffic as well?
I believe it does have traffic.
Those are always fun. I like it when they do things like that.
Yeah, it makes it a little more chaotic.
They have Shroom Ridge. Which
Ridge
is not the same thing.
Very similar name-wise, though.
Yeah, but it is similar as well with the ongoing traffic. So I wonder if they will not add that one because they already have one that's very similar, which is a bummer because I think honestly the one that they added is one of the worst ones for that style. But that's just me. Coming in to my number 4, Koopa Beach from the SNES. Now, there's not a ton to the SNES levels. They're pretty plain because they're flat.
Yeah.
But I want this one because I love the aesthetic of it and the music is incredible. Ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da, yeah, I really like that. I that theme, like that makes me that song makes me so nostalgic to just play Mario Kart at all. Like any Mario Kart, I'm like, I gotta go play Mario Kart for that song. So I hope that gets added just so we can get a modern mix of that song.
Nice. My number, whatever I am in my list, is Peach Beach. And
that's a good one
because it rhymes. But guess what game that's from? Double Dash. Double Dash is probably the Mario Kart I've played the most. But I just remember, like, you could take that separate path if it's like low tide. I think that has like a boost, but you got to be able to judge how fast the tide's coming in or out. to make it worth
I
it.
learned from listening to Maddie Beth's podcast that the things in that game, or the things on the beach that launch you up, those are called cataquacks.
Fitting.
I did learn that from the podcast, but I also forgot and had to look it up again. But because it's like I couldn't remember what it was called. I was like, no, they talked about it. Cataquacks, which are from Mario
They
Sunshine.
come in 4 different colors.
Yeah, they're from Mario Sunshine, and it's fun to ram them when you have star power.
You monster.
They're monsters, all right? They're the worst. If you hit one of those, it's game over for your race, man. I also didn't know for a long time that you could take a shortcut on the little ferry boat on the outside. You could take a ramp out to that and get some items.
Oh yeah, there's the green pipe, right? Or is there a ramp? Am I thinking of?
It's a ramp, I think. But
I don't remember.
I just like the design of this level in that you start on like a beachfront town, like a boardwalk. You race down onto the beach, race through the beach, and then back up onto the boardwalk town. It's just a really fun design, and you know me, I like the beach levels. So I've already I got 2 on my list. So yeah. Next for me, number 3, Delfino Square from the Nintendo DS, which is also a Mario Sunshine reference.
Yep, and that is also my number 3.
Hey,
Well,
that's awesome.
It happened to be in the number 3 slot, kind of.
It's also very beach. It's also very beach themed. So I love the music in that level, and I love the level design because you go through the city, and then there's a part where you can take different paths through alleyways and things, and then a bridge that raises up. And if you hit it right, you can use it as a jump. But other times it'll be down, and yeah. And then I also love the what are the guys called from Mario Sunshine?
The Piantas or something.
Yeah, the Piantas sing along to the soundtrack, which is pretty awesome. Pretty neat detail.
Yeah.
I'm like singing all my Mario Kart stuff tonight. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is actually a level I'd never played. It just sounded kind of cool, and then you said it was pretty good, so I added it.
Is
Airship
it the same
Fortress.
I thought you were about to say the same as me, but no. Airship Fortress is pretty good. I ended up cutting it from the list. You got beat out by everything else.
Yeah,
that's a fun one. There's a segment where there are bullet bills being shot at you, and you have to dodge them while driving the track.
See that? That just sounds awesome.
And then there's Monty moles that pop up and throw things. You got to dodge those. It's a cool take on like a Bowser's Castle style level, in my opinion. My number 2 is Waluigi Pinball. It needs to happen. That's like the best. It's one of the best levels in all of Mario Kart, and definitely GOAT for music. Like, so good. So good. Waluigi Pinball. Like, come on. How is that not in already? All in podcast in the chat. It's like, finally, I was waiting for someone to mention Waluigi Pinball.
I almost put Waluigi Pinball on, even though I have no recollection of it, just because, I mean, it's a pinball track.
It's such a good idea. You shoot out the cannon, and it's like the little ball launch. Like, it's, so good. Way better than all the other, like, there's like Waluigi Stadium. No, there's only one Waluigi level, and that's Waluigi Pinball. Okay, that's the only one we need.
It's the only one that matters.
Yeah. What's your number 1?
My number 1.
Wait, I already said mine, which is Maka Woohoo. And the reason I pick Maka Woohoo over Woohoo Island Loop is because you're actually going up the mountain, and you end by taking a glider and gliding all the way down to like the Golf Islands on Woohoo Island. And that is such a fun idea. And it's so scenic and iconic. It just, need it to happen. And if they put that in and they take out Mii's and replace them with Shy Guys, I will riot. All right, Nintendo.
We got
Don't
one
even
person
think
riot.
about it. Don't even think about it. Like, come on.
They'll just
It's
have
Woohoo
instead of
Island.
Shy Guys, they'll just have those new Miis
Oh,
from Switch
gosh.
Sports. Which is worse?
Shy Guys. At least
Shy
for the
Guys would
one
be
they're
worse?
being consistent.
What
right?
if they're all the squirrel people?
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Oh man, but my number one, good old Banshee Boardwalk.
Nice.
And I've played that level quite a bit, semi recently, for when we did our fall-a-thon that ended up being like 16 hours. And this level gave us a lot of grief. And I thought it was
back. I'm
at
a
first I
glutton
thought it
for
was
punishment.
stupid. So it was stupid, it was unfair, but the more I played, the more I grew to have a sort of respect.
I think we had
for the
several
difficulty of this
saves
level.
of the stream during that one level because we were stuck on it so long. There were several times people swooped in to save the stream.
It was rough. And I did tell you to not speak at one point because I was trying to focus so hard.
I forgot about that.
You were like saying something about like you can do it, or maybe you were asking me a question, and my brain could not like formulate words well to be like, I'm trying to focus, and I was just like, don't speak. Something. I was like,
I
think that was not worded well.
I didn't even pay any mind. I was so focused on you winning for us because I wasn't gonna.
And then
do
I
it.
lost, and we had to play it like 7 more times. Oh, and if I remember correctly, I practically threw it. I was in the lead, or at least the lead enough to make it to the next track, and I just fell off on the last lap.
That game is so slidey. You slide so much when trying to turn. You're like,
oh yeah,
there's
specifically like
you're
there's like
screech to the
one
side.
turn especially that is so hard to not fall off, and then they always have those like stupid bats ruining your life.
Yep.
All in podcasts saying they had to look it up and they hate that level. What? Nah, you just gotta play it 10 to 20 times and you will grow to respect it like I did. A sort of begrudging respect, but respect nonetheless.
I do got to give a shout out in the chat. All in mentioned Koopa Cape. That's a good one. Do you remember that one from the Wii? There's like the underwater tunnel. They even brought it back for the 3DS, and the underwater tunnel, instead of being a tunnel, you were just underwater.
I mean, that sounds... I mean, I can think of a level where you end up going underwater. I don't know if it's the same one.
There's a lot of levels that do that.
Yeah.
The 3DS had some really good courses, and the DS had some really good courses. Some of the best in the series, in my opinion. So yeah, there you have it. That's our top 10 courses we'd like to see added to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pack. And now, on to the meat of our show. Which Nintendo characters would make the best life partners, the best spouse? That is right. We are going to be ranking characters from the Smash Bros. We're using the Smash Bros. Roster for this because it's pretty all-inclusive of Nintendo's IP and hits on some of the highlights. We'll throw in some honorable mentions if you got any for ones that for characters you think would be a good fit. Now this isn't all right. Before we go, whoa! I better click away. This is getting into weird territory here. No, we're not doing that here. Okay, this is we're talking important stuff here. We're not going to be talking based off how they look necessarily as like a singular factor. No, we're talking about important things like compatibility, communication, dependability, what kind of job and like career will they have? Like what aspirations will they have? And what sort of lifestyle do they want to live? Because there's a lot of factors that go into choosing a life partner. And why not take and decide who's the best among the Smash Bros. Characters? And so, shall we begin, Micah?
Let's do it.
So, here's some of the rules we're going to follow for this. They have to be humanoid. humanoid characters.
Human adjacent.
So, animals or creatures that would be like pets. Probably not. And we're also not going to do any non-Nintendo characters. And we're also removing children. No children should be looking for a life partner. This is going to be fun. Alrighty, so first off, does Bowser count?
Sure, but I feel like we're probably
Sure.
just going to rank him low anyways, so...
So, yeah. As a life partner, he is very ambitious.
Yeah, he's kind of almost doting on Peach.
Yes, but it's definitely hitting the not okay.
Yeah, but like All
zone
In
there.
Podcast says, in a too clingy and possessive kind of way.
You are 100% right. Seth from All In Podcast, check out their show. So there's that. He's prone to anger.
True.
And
he has a castle.
Yeah. Does he make a good dad?
Army. You know what? I don't think he's too bad of a father.
of a father. All right.
Though he does have all his like children and whatnot help him kidnap people, so maybe he is a bad father.
I think for potentially the redeeming qualities of he does have a good financially stable household.
He knows how to party and drive go-karts. So.
I think that moves him above F tier, but maybe D.
Oh yeah. I was thinking around D. Surely someone's worse.
Surely someone is worse. But listen, if you're on the market, don't be looking for Bowser. That's all I can say. Does Bayonetta count? Is Bayonetta Nintendo?
Not really. I would.
She's Nintendo
no.
enough because
like
she's exclusive to Nintendo
now, but
we'll allow it. I know very little about Bayonetta.
Yeah, lots of hair, including her clothing being made of hair. Apparently,
that's a downside.
Kind of gross.
So
no offense.
My wife, that we find hair all over the place. All right? This is just a thing that comes from living with people that have long hair. My hair, while it was long, it was shedding and it gets messy. So I feel like Bayonetta, you'd like be finding hair in your clothes all the time. You'd be like, gross, like pulling out these, and it's super long because her hair's really long, right? I don't know. Is she a good communicator? I don't know. She seems like she talks a lot.
No, I haven't really played any of the games, so I don't know.
We're gonna
definitely fight off a home intruder in the middle of the night. So
that's an important factor when determining. She also doesn't seem like the type that would like to really stay still in one place, though.
Yeah, I can see that from my very limited knowledge.
Yeah. All In says Bayonetta is powerful and independent, but way out of my league. I could see that. I could see that. She's definitely out of your league, man. No, I'm just kidding. I'd say she also seems kind of flirty, and that might not be very conducive of a lifelong partner.
True.
Maybe. It really depends on what kind of personality you like. So potential here, but maybe not the best. She's not the type to settle down. I think. So if you like that, then this might be an S tier. But if you're looking for someone that's a little bit more dependable, she also seems like she wouldn't really be a breadwinner. She wouldn't be bringing home the bacon, you know. But she could, if she wanted to.
Around B,
I
guess.
Okay, B for Bayonetta. I feel like that's very
exactly.
Fitting. Okay, let's cruise through these a little bit more. We have a lot to go through. So
yeah.
Captain Falcon. There's not a lot of character development for Captain Falcon.
A, at least.
A, really?
Anyone who has that form while kneeing someone in the face, Captain Falcon would be an incredible pole vaulter, I'm pretty sure.
He would be, yeah. He's in great shape. He also has a pretty good career in race racing.
Yeah, I mean, he's like one of the best in the world. I
Mhm.
assume he makes buku bucks for that.
But as a communicator, he seems pretty not very communicative. He doesn't seem like a talker. He's the like he gives Batman vibes to me, where he's like kind of to himself.
I guess,
But I don't know because I've really there's not a lot of character development for him. I was gonna put him in B.
I can accept that.
Yeah.
B for Falcon Punch.
Corrin.
Corn can turn into a dragon, right? I think of the right person there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
From the games, I don't know a ton. I didn't play the games, but I've read up on them. Corrin seems like the type that is very concerned with family. That's the game where you, depending on which one you play, sides with one side of the family, either one he was adopted and grew up with, or the ones that are his actual blood relatives. The ones that he's adopted with, like there's like this whole political intrigue deal. I'd say seems decent, but also kind of whiny and conflicted. And so I think solid C for Corrin. C for Corrin. What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right.
I mean, I know nothing about like any Fire Emblem characters, so they can go wherever, essentially.
Princess Daisy. Oh, I said I would
mean,
remove Echo Fighters here, but Daisy's not really an Echo. Daisy is very different than Peach.
It's a different person who has practically the same fighting set.
Mhm.
But, I mean, a princess, so bonus.
She's got money. Daisy seems like a go-getter. Like, she seems like she would definitely be headstrong and good communicator. Maybe more so than Peach.
I can see that. Oh,
don't forget Daisy has a cruise ship. Yeah, she also has a cruise ship. That does change things. I personally find Daisy to be extra obnoxious. I'm just gonna come out here and say it. I'm gonna offend every Daisy fan out there.
what?
I
But why?
I just don't. I don't know. I don't know what bothers me about Daisy, but I just don't like Daisy.
Seems like a more of a personal shortcoming than a Daisy shortcoming.
I don't know. It's just a little too aggressively excited about things. Maybe a bit too bubbly. Maybe a bit too much.
Too bubbly.
So you're saying like that's a bonus for you?
Well, I just not
Does that
necessarily
make-
for
does
me, but for some people, I would
Okay,
have thought
okay.
that would have been more of a bonus.
Yeah, really, it really depends on the person. So communication, there's a win there. Dependability, pretty dependable. She seems
Money?
like the type that would also like to settle, but would like to travel. She's got a cruise ship.
Yeah, I said because got the cruise ship. Yeah, I mean, I could see a B, but maybe even an A. I mean, I know you don't like her, but
Okay, I'll say high B. That's good. Dark Pit, I'm gonna put off to the side as an Echo. I'm sorry, and same with Dark Samus. Two dark characters. Diddy Kong. Does Diddy Kong count?
Diddy
He's
Kong's
a child.
a monkey.
He's
and
a child.
child.
But here's the thing: is I think we should rank Donkey Kong. He's too iconic not to.
I mean, communication not very good.
No, dependable.
I would say mostly, unless his bananas have been stolen, then he's gonna forget about you and go get that.
I don't know.
It depends. Are you a banana?
Well, Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3, he's not even there.
So he's not that dependable.
Right. But he is the type that could defend you against an intruder in the middle of the night. that's one of the factors.
But he also only wears a tie.
Is that a bonus or a...
That's not a bonus.
Yeah. It's gonna I think he's low. I think he's low.
I think he might actually be worse than Bowser.
Really?
Almost. I mean, because he has essentially the
'cause he has-
mentality of a gorilla.
and he has no money,
Like-
unlike Bowser, who is very wealthy and
Yeah.
had proven to be a good father. Donkey Kong's a family man, though.
That's true.
But you are right in when compared. I mean, we're not really comparing them to each other, but if you're looking at if you're going on to what is the dating app called? If you're going on to Nintendo Tinder, Ninder, as we like to call it, he's going in wherever you swipe Bowser. That's where Donkey Kong's going to. Probably.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put him in D tier. D for DK. Isn't it weird that we're like putting all these characters where they go? Mario as a life partner, as a spouse,
I'm
Listen-
very dependable. I would think.
extremely dependable. He's very stably careered, and
Does
has
he
a
really
variety.
have a career?
He's
Or
a
is he
plumber.
just like full-time peach rescuer? I mean, they call him a plumber, but whenever we ever see him do any plumbing,
In Mario 3D World, he fixes the pipe to get to the first level. Him and
how
Luigi
does he
work
fix
together
the pipe? Like,
with wrenches. They use wrenches.
they
and they're like,
use wrenches?
ching, 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 ching,
okay,
and then
okay.
it's
I mean,
like-
I can see that he's not like a sewage kind of plumber.
right. What we're playing in the games.
He's a green pipe teleportation kind of plumber.
What we're playing in the games is actually his time off. Like, he has a thriving business as a plumber off screen. But you know what he does have a thriving business as on screen? A doctor.
Yeah, it's true. All in
He's-
podcasting, Dr. Mario is Mario with money.
Yeah. I mean,
And yeah.
plumbers make good money too.
That's yeah.
He I don't know if people knew this, but if you get into the plumbing business, there's not a lot of people in it because it's not a very glorified position. And it makes really good money because they're in demand. So for that, I mean, career-wise, he's got aspirations, he's got talent, but communication,
I would say communication. I feel
no.
like is his only downside.
it's a major downside. He doesn't communicate at all. He doesn't talk to anybody.
I still feel like he could fall in the A area. You just got to get to know him well enough that you can like read his expressions, like Luigi apparently does, and Peach. They always know what he's talking about without him actually saying anything.
Right. We also know that he is not great at relationships in general, because all he has is Peach, and she is always kidnapped. And she even
But he's
straight up,
really good at rescuing her.
yeah, but she doesn't ever commit
She makes him a
to their
cake,
relationship.
kisses
I
him
mean,
on a
in
nose.
Odyssey,
once.
in Odyssey, she straight up rejects him and Bowser.
Oh, that's true.
So, I mean, I think Mario might be lower than A tier.
Wow, really?
I
Just
do.
because he gets rejected by someone? That's harsh.
Because he's
That's
very.
harsh.
I think he's a very talented guy, but as far as relationships go, that's not his forte. And he's more focused on himself and his career than on
And rescuing people.
right. But to what end? Is that to help you?
It's
I
to
don't know.
help people.
It's to help other people, not
Yeah.
not the person he's in a relationship with.
Unless you're the one
it's Peach.
constantly getting kidnapped.
We're gonna be Peach now. He also, family tie, like his whole situation. You got to also think about like the people he hangs out with. He's hanging out with DK and Bowser, man. Like those are his buddies just as much as villains. He's not in with the right crowds. So I'm gonna say B tier for Mario is my take. Maybe C tier. even.
I suppose I can accept a B tier. I can't go lower than that though.
All right.
Just because he's waiting for the one and whatnot doesn't mean he's bad at relationships.
Okay, but let's talk about.
Maybe you're just not good enough to be with Mario. That's the problem.
Let's talk about his brother.
S. All the way.
I'm gonna say Luigi's pretty up there. Luigi is a communicator. He's very
Oh, yeah.
talkative.
Very, very funny.
Very
I
caring.
think conversations with him would be so good.
He's
he
very caring. He
Is
he
the
does,
most courageous person in the world because he is scared of everything, but especially like Luigi's Mansion, he still goes through all of that, even though he's terrified to save his brother.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing: the relation, you can tell a lot about someone based off how they treat their family, right? We're using real life dating advice and applying it here. Luigi is incredibly supportive of his brother. Incredibly, always has his back.
Although I guess in a couple games, I can't think. I think some of like the Mario and Luigi games, he does try and get out of doing these dangerous things, but Mario doesn't let him.
Yeah.
But in most games,
Mario's a terrible brother. He's like dragging Luigi along. And you know what? Luigi has the same stunning career as Mario. So
plus
he is Mario, but he has all of the ups that Mario had shortcomings in my eyes.
And he has a giant mansion and a hotel.
True.
I think he gets ownership of the hotel afterwards, right? I'm not just like making that up.
I don't know if he gets ownership of that, but he definitely has the mansion.
Not, but he at least has the mansion.
So we're agreeing. Luigi's S tier.
S
tier spouse material.
And we didn't even talk about, like Rizzle points out, he can jump really high.
True.
Can you imagine the insane dunks Mario can do with a basketball?
I
S tier spouse material.
Because he was in NBA Streets on the GameCube. Have you seen?
I forgot about that.
That's a pretty great game.
You don't have to imagine.
Listen. My wife, there's definitely a factor in marrying me in that I can reach stuff off of top shelves. All right? And Luigi's jump height is definitely a factor here. I think. I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm 6'2", 6'1.5", 6'2". And you are 6'2" as well. We're about the same height.
We're about the same, but I think I'm more of a 6'1".
You're slightly shorter than me, so that is accurate.
I don't know about that.
Is it with it's with the hair?
I think you're
with the hair spike.
I think the last time we measured back to back, we were essentially like the exact same height, but people always think you're taller because of the hair.
Yeah.
I mean, you maybe do have like a
and I'm skinny I'm skinny. Anyways, we're this is about
it's an
Mario
optical
and Luigi.
illusion.
I don't even remember where I was going with this. But
he's real tall and can jump high.
Luigi's he's not super tall, but because he can jump high. Plus, he's a good-looking guy.
Oh yeah. He still has that 5 out of 5 mustache, like Mario has. Yeah.
Duck Hunt is an animal, so as I said, no pets. But here's a question: do the Star Fox cast count as animals?
They're technically also animals.
They're sort of anthropomorphic.
They're people with animal bodies, essentially.
We'll include them. I guess. Alrighty, let's go with Fox. He's pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's pretty high. He's got a cool career. He seems dependable. A little selfless.
Are they mercenaries? Are they like for hire?
That's a good question. I actually don't know what they are technically.
I think they are like mercenary type fighter pilots. I played Star Fox Command, so I know for a fact that Fox is not good in relationships.
I don't remember.
He ditched Crystal, and
maybe
kind
Crystal's
of went.
Not good.
He didn't want to settle down and went with the bachelor life, if I recall correctly. I don't remember the exact details, but in some of the stories, you can get them back together, and in some of the endings, he just lives the single life. And so he's hit or miss on the communication. He is a great communicator.
is very adamant that you got the wrong ending.
I got the wrong ending. That's what I'm telling you. Some endings. So it's really he's hit or miss on the communication. He is a great communicator when it comes to battle strategy, but maybe not the best when it comes to what really matters.
He's probably gone a lot.
Yes. He's not the type that would settle.
Yeah, you'd also have to be in his sort of career field to spend time with him.
Yes. So it's not super compatible.
Yeah.
He's gonna require a very specific type of person.
It's
like Crystal.
Probably good,
and
for
then
the
he
right
ends
person.
up leaving Crystal, which is just lame. Listen, okay.
Well,
LPD says I got the wrong ending.
That might be your fault.
No. This is no matter what. no matter what, he has left Crystal at the start of the game. It's whether or not they get back together.
Oh, I see.
He's very Han Solo-like,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah, I guess I can see
Great
him around a
guy,
C.
but maybe not the best for a relationship.
Yeah.
So I'm down with a C for Star Fox. We're just gonna. This is an upset Dan from Retro Logic list. That is what this list is all about.
And I feel like Falco's kind of the same, but more cocky and
Yeah.
arrogant.
Yeah, agreed.
So I'd probably
We're just
put him
gonna-
the
we're just gonna
same.
do that.
He's not quite D tier.
So
I
now
don't
let's talk.
think.
Now let's talk a real important one here. Ganondorf,
S tier.
S tier spouse. I don't know.
As long as
hard
you're
to
the Triforce.
You're good.
Yeah, that's some dedication he has.
I think that's bad, actually. As long as you are the Triforce, he
Yeah.
will be committed to you as a
Mhm.
person. That's not true because, I mean, I guess you could consider him committed to Zelda and Link, but he is trying to kill them to steal the
Yeah.
Triforce. So,
Oh yeah. But if you are the
Not
Triforce,
really.
then yeah, real good.
if you are the Triforce, they technically are the pieces of the Triforce they hold, and
I don't know if
he's
that's
trying to steal
technically
that.
true.
he is an odd case because he does seem like a pretty good communicator.
Yeah, I mean some of those lines in Wind Waker, so
Oh, yeah.
good.
He's very thoughtful.
Yeah, he does seem he's pretty like philosophical at times.
Hmm. But I think he's philosophical and communicative in a way that would be hard. That makes sense. He's like he has a very difficult to live with mentality. Like someone it would be hard. There's a reason he has no partners in the games. Like he's
Yeah.
a solo show because as smart as he is and as good of a communicator as he is, his motivation as a character and as a person are tough.
Pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
So
probably should go in like D.
D.
I would almost say F, but I feel like I like Ganondorf as a character too much to do that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're also evil and you want to reshape the worlds in a similar image as Ganondorf, I mean,
then
you'd get along to get like fantastic.
Then
probably
he uses you pretty hardcore, as in the case with Zant and also Girahim.
Yeah, but those are
Girahim, he just
weirdos.
straight up sort of kills, but sort of not, I guess. It's like you're sort of starting to make me feel like F tier is where he belongs.
What?
But he's
good with
D tier.
puppets.
He's
Come on now.
talented, ambitious. That brings him. He's not the complete downside. Pokemon are out. Pokemon are out. That's my vote. They're too pet-like. What say you?
Yeah.
Okay. Ike.
I mean, he fights for his friends.
He seems like a pretty good guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I know about him. He fights for his friends.
I fight for my friends.
So kind of A tier.
Kind of A tier. I'm feeling A tier. We don't have anybody in A tier. He's also extremely strong. So if you need someone that's provide some muscle to your relationship, he's someone that can help you move.
Yeah, if you need
Like
someone
if you need to move houses,
to also reach tall things. I mean, reach tall
Yeah,
things, but
yeah,
also move big things.
he seems like he could move a heavy thing that is really high up. He seems tall. I think he's tall.
Yeah, I think he can jump high-ish.
He also does seem like he's a pretty good communicator. Yeah. He also seemed very motivated by family in those games. I think he was searching the Black Knight who took out his father, but he's also very dedicated to his friends. LPD in chat says he is a patriotic hero that unifies all kingdoms and overcomes racism. What downsides do you see with him?
I mean,
like why not
He's
S?
a mercenary leader, so I feel like that's not necessarily the best for relationships if he's like fighting wars and things.
Right. Military relationships are hard. Totally doable, but very hard because they do pull you a lot away from family. I feel like he would struggle as a father, but he also would care very deeply for his children. So
I mean, who knows?
I'm agreeing
Once
with
he had
you.
children, he might retire or something.
I'm agreeing with you. A tier. He's not Luigi level, you know. Squid,
Few are.
Inkling, Squid, kid. It's a kid.
Yeah.
Inkling's not on the
probably
list. Isabel.
Also an animal person? But I guess we did Donkey Kong.
And Star Fox.
I feel like Isabel's probably pretty high up there.
I agree. Isabel might be S tier. Isabel is an incredibly hard worker. She's incredibly loyal.
She gets along real well with a Doom guy, supposedly.
Right. There is that. She's an incredibly hard worker. She's a provider. I think the only problem you might have with Isabel is that she's a workaholic. She never stops working. She works 24/7.
A lot of hair.
A lot of hair. Yeah. But I think besides those
kind
things,
of ignoring that part, I think, yeah.
She's a fantastic communicator. She will always have something to talk about. Even when she doesn't have something to talk about, she's going to talk to you. You know? And I personally think that's a great quality to have in a life partner, because you want to have someone who can be open and talking about anything going on in their life. And she's that kind of person. That's how you overcome problems, is talking things out, talking together. If you have someone who is like Donkey Kong, isn't talking, you know, or Ganondorf, who's very like focused on what they're thinking about,
world of domination stuff.
Yeah, but Isabel's going to talk to you about what TV show she was watching, if she lost some socks in the wash, you know. These are all things that I've had in the morning announcements. She's also very friendly to everybody. I can't find any fault with Isabel.
Yeah, I agree. S tier, right under Luigi.
Right under Luigi. Okay, there's no
actual.
There's no levels within the tiers. All are equal within the tiers.
But Luigi was first, and that's all that really matters.
Next up, we have King DDD.
I'm gonna say not good.
Really? I'm gonna say he's pretty good.
He's kind of a villain, always trying to like murder Kirby and stuff.
He's not always a villain, actually.
I mean, neither is Bowser, but I mean, come on now.
In most of the mainline Kirby games, King DDD is not a villain. In a lot of the cases, he is being used by other villains, or is trying to prevent Kirby from doing something extremely dangerous and dumb. And that is why he is stopping Kirby. There's one where he like begs Kirby not to use the Star Rod because it unleashes an eldritch monster.
What?
I think he's misunderstood. He was a villain like one time, and then he gets brought in as a villain, but most of the time it's not attempting to be a bad guy. And then there are times where he's just straight up a good guy, like Return to Dreamland. He is one of the 4 playable characters.
I mean, he kind of just comes across as a ding-dong, though.
But he's also a king.
Yeah, but
he's got
does he
money.
have any money? Does he actually have money, though?
Seems like it. He has
he
has a palace.
Waddle Dees.
And he somehow has earned the loyalty and trust of Meta Knight, who we'll get to. I think he's C, maybe.
Sure.
He's above. He is a better villain potential spouse than Bowser and Ganon.
I mean, I'm not 1,000% convinced on that, but I'll allow it.
All right. King K. Rool. I have no idea. I have no idea where to even start with King K. Rool.
Just put him with the rest of the villains in D. And Donkey Kong. I mean, he doesn't talk much, does he? Like,
I don't even know what his motivations are. He steals bananas. He seems like he's a good leader. And yeah. Not a good communicator. He doesn't ever ask for the bananas. Like, why not just ask?
Well, because DK's going to say no.
Would DK say no?
Yes.
Rather than steal the whole horde, I think DK could spare a few.
Yeah,
not all those. Is he going to eat all those bananas before they go bad?
He'd rather fight to the death.
See, this is why Donkey Kong isn't D tier.
Exactly.
We're just reemphasizing. They would make a great partnership, actually, because they're very compatible. They're at the same level. Kirby.
I
Kirby.
mean, I feel like Kirby's good natured and all, but they're essentially a child. Like
I
their
think
mentality. I'm not
canonically
saying
he's
they're
very old.
yeah, so he's not actually child age, but I think maturity level very childish,
Right.
and
That's a problem.
it would mostly be you keeping Kirby out of trouble, kind of, or trying to stop Kirby from making a mess.
Yeah. He'd also eat. This was
I mean,
pointed out on the stream. I did Kirby that Kirby would eat you out of house and home, man. You'd eat all your food.
I mean, potentially, literally,
Yeah, he could eat you
and your house.
and your house. But he is very kind.
Not good communication, though.
He's very loyal and wants to help. So I don't think he's D tier.
No, I wouldn't say D tier. Potentially.
He also seems like he'd be a good cuddler.
Potentially.
Very squishy.
It just seems dangerous cuddling with him somehow.
Because he'd eat you.
He yawns and rolls over. Game over.
Where are you thinking? I'll let you place Curb.
I mean, I guess low C.
Okay.
I almost want to put him in D though.
C for Kirby. Carby.
Oh.
All right, now we got
I mean,
we got
if we're
a
talking
fan
Kirby,
favorite. Maybe there's wait. We got a fan favorite here. Link. I mean, I know a lot of people would definitely pick Link as a spouse if they could.
Yeah, I mean,
But
very
would I?
dependable.
I don't know.
loyal.
I don't know. I don't think Link is S tier spouse material.
No, but
Communication.
not very good. Any amount
Communication's
of pressure he has on him, suddenly he doesn't say anything ever. As you find out in Breath of the Wild.
That's true. That's true.
But I mean, super good guy. I feel like his only downside really is his communication.
yeah, he's stable as far as jobs go. He probably is very dependable in that regard, and also seems to care about family and friends a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I would say A, maybe low S, but I mean, the essentially no communications.
That's a
kind
problem.
of hard to get past.
Yeah, that's a big problem. And I mean, he does also seem. It's hard to say if he'd be the type to settle. You do get a house, but he also spends a lot of time out of the house.
That's because he has no one in the house to hang with.
Right.
I can see Link settling down.
I think so. After the adventures are over in every game, I feel like he's the type that'd be like, all right, I'm going to settle down, start a family,
retire,
marry my fish lady, or whatever girl he decides to go with. All right, A tier. I think you're right. Little Mac.
I don't think he necessarily has that good of communication, but he
Right.
just seems too focused on his work, which is getting punched in the face a lot.
Does he? Do you think being in the career path, he'd be the type to easily anger? I don't know.
I don't think so. I see Lil
seems
Mac
pretty
as
chill.
very good natured and
Yeah, he seems
chill.
pretty chill. Okay, I'll say B. I'm down with that.
He's very in control of his emotions.
Meta Knight. What do you think of Meta Knight?
I don't know what to think about Meta Knight. He generally seems like he's a villain, but an honorable villain, I guess. I don't know much.
I agree. I think he seems like he's very honorable and loyal, but he also doesn't seem like the greatest communicator. And like he'd be kind of standoffish in a relationship. He seems very soloist.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with that, but we're ranking based off of life partner here, okay? And he's not. I mean, I wouldn't
settle down and have a life partner.
Right. I could see it in the future for Meta Knight, but in his current state, probably not.
Maybe C or D then.
I don't think I can rank him at the same level as Kirby. I think he's got to go down to D.
He's got lower.
Yeah. Mr. Game & Watch.
I'm gonna go ahead and say F tier for Mr. Game & Watch.
All right.
Absolutely no communication.
He's very hardworking.
He's 2D. Would create issues.
I'm in agreement with that. We'll put him in F tier. Although, like, some bonus points, he is a very hard worker, very versatile, but he
He
seems
can
like
juggle.
he's, again, not great skills. It's like Mario, but even worse.
Yeah.
Olimar.
I mean, hardworking, but he's away a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It depends if you're his spouse. I mean, if you're also going on these journeys, they're
This
kind
is
of
like-
very dangerous vacations.
This is like a
Where you work
relationship
really hard.
with a trucker.
Yeah.
It's
who
hard. It's
might
hard
get
on a
eaten
family life. And he has
by
kids.
bears or something.
He has kids. Like, it's mentioned that he wants to bring back souvenirs for his kids. It's just like,
I mean, maybe they just really need money, and he's doing what he's got to do.
right,
To
that's
support
like,
his family.
Could be the case. He also doesn't really stand up to his boss. Like, he wouldn't stand up for himself very well.
So
And-
around B then.
And he might be kind of manipulative, man. He uses the Pikmin for his own goals.
Or do you use the Pikmin for your own goals?
I mean, you are Olimar when you are playing the game. I don't know. I think C, maybe.
You think he's down there with Kirby, who is essentially a child's brain in the body of a vacuum?
I do. Yeah. I think he might be higher up than Kirby, but he's in that tier. He's on the Fox. He's on the Fox tier.
I think maybe
He's
Kirby
not on the
is-
same tier as Mario.
Kirby might just need to be lower.
Does everything need to be lowered? And this
I mean-
becomes the new C?
Maybe just Kirby and King DDD. But
I feel like
I'm
Kirby
fine with-
and King DDD can't be on the same level as Bowser and Ganondorf.
I feel like King DDD is relatively similar to Bowser.
All right, so you're suggesting we rearrange
I
things here.
I can accept a high C.
I think we rearrange things here. I'm okay with this. King DDD.
I mean, maybe I'm just judging
D tier.
King DDD too harshly on like the one game I've played with him.
But if we're doing that, then I think we also need to move Ganon and King K. Rool down. These other guys have some redeeming qualities. We talked about like fatherliness. Bowser has money. King DDD has money.
As
some
long as we
leadership.
keep in mind that Mr. Game & Watch is the bottom F.
Got it. We got it. All right. Lady Palutena. Fantastic communicator. She is talking to Pit through the entire game, but she also keeps her secrets. She's got some spunk. So personality wise, I dig Lady Palutena's personality. I think she's a nice. She's got a good personality.
Low-ish A.
She's also a
Does
goddess, so I don't know exactly how that factors into the dependability
Yeah, like, I don't
and
know
the work.
about the settling down aspect of being a goddess.
I feel like she doesn't actually do a lot. She mostly sends Pit to do all that stuff.
Well, she's just busy with other things.
Well,
Her
she's
other
the goddess.
duties.
She's the goddess of light as well, which I don't really know what that entails, like what that job entails. I'm okay with A tier. I think that's fair. The A tier is the A and S tier are like for sure I'd date these people, and while looking for a life partner, I would consider these people as quality candidates. B tier is like the if I can't get someone in the higher tiers, and then C tier. I'm sorry, those, I mean they're good, but they're not in the running for me.
Yeah.
Peach.
Peach has got to be around Daisy, I would think. They're
I think
pretty
so as well.
similar personality.
She's a good cook.
Wise.
She's a good cook though. Like that's an up for me. We haven't talked about it for any other characters. Link would be a great chef. He's a fantastic cook. I agree. Let's just slate her right here between Mario and Daisy. Pit from Kid Icarus. Also a great communicator.
Dedicated to his job. Don't know how much time he has between saving things. Well,
I mean this in the absolute nicest way, but
he might actually have a lot of time between saving things, actually, considering his game schedule.
I'm gonna say this, and I mean this in the nicest way, but Pitt's kind of dumb.
I can accept that.
He's
Have
kind
you
of a
played
dummy.
0 games of Pits?
He does require other people to kind of make a lot of the decisions for him and help guide him on his journeys. But he will loyally do what he is asked to do, and he will do it well.
Seems good natured.
He's very happy and very friendly, and always tries to do the right thing. I think he's up there in the A tier, honestly. With
A tier, I thought you were just trying to talk him down so much. I was gonna try and pull you up to B tier.
Oh, okay. I mean, I could see him in B tier as well. Like there are some lower qualities. He's a bit too much of a workaholic. He is only dedicated to doing work. You know, he doesn't seem like the type that really has a lot.
I don't know much, but he
outside of that.
just seems like someone who'd get distracted easily as well.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Kind of
He'd
flaky,
be very,
maybe.
very, very flighty. Yeah. I can see that. You can put him right here in the middle. Not that we're ranking him. It's Pokemon Trainer is a child.
And even if they weren't, they're not like a real person.
So how about
They
Ridley?
Have 0 personality.
Ridley? Is Ridley a person? Personality?
A tier? Nah, Ridley's just straight F tier. I feel like we can't even really rank them. They're not that humanoid, but straight into F tier for Ridley.
He goes to the Shadow Realm because guess what? He killed Samus's parents, and
Yep.
No coming back from that. He is off the table completely. He's not even down here in F tier.
I mean, to
Nobody.
be fair, Gandorf has killed like oodles of people.
I'm okay. Well, yeah, okay. but
I'm agreeing with you.
But Ridley's still in the Shadow Realm. Rosalina. LPD was in chat on stream this week, and he said Rosalina actually be a really fantastic mom. I mean, she already is.
All the Lumas.
To all the Lumas. She reads bedtime stories. She's very caring. She seems like a pretty good communicator. Very helpful. Very supportive. Also a princess. Has some sort of lifestyle with that. I kind of think she might be S tier.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
She's also the best looking princess, in my opinion. Yep,
Wow.
I'm putting it out there. I'm
rocking the boat. Probably the princess you see the least amount of like their body. You see like half of her face, and then she has like the longest cloak thing.
She's got a cool haircut.
It's true.
She's making a statement. She's making a very and it's very minimalistic. She also doesn't get kidnapped and is very independent.
That's true. You don't have to spend all your time rescuing her.
Right.
Or waiting for Mario to rescue her.
Now we're getting to some more tough calls here. Samus.
Oh, straight S tier.
No way. Samus is not S tier.
Just under Luigi.
Listen. Samus is a terrible communicator.
Excuse me? A terrible communicator?
Yeah. She doesn't talk like at all.
Well, she's going to very, very dangerous places where there aren't people to talk to.
She's an amazing
LPD,
listener.
Yeah, an amazing listener.
Oh my goodness.
One of the best.
She also would not settle down. There's no chance. No shot she'll settle.
Me?
She is going to always be traveling and always going to be, because that's just the lifestyle she lives. She's a strong, independent woman. And that's great. That is fantastic. But I don't know if that makes her a great life partner choice. It depends on the lifestyle you want to live.
I think
the lifestyle she'd be amazing mother to the baby.
I mean,
she does have
after all this
qualities,
crazy Metroid stuff, I think she'd be down for settling down.
I don't think so. She lived through a Phazon crisis and then was just like, on to Metroid. Like, I don't know. I think she's just going to always be out there. It would be very weird to see a future Samus that is settled down. think she's just gonna always be a bounty hunter.
But
She's
if you're
also a
also
bounty
a bounty hunter,
Does she
no
make
good
a lot
fit.
of? Does she make a lot of money? You think?
She better make a lot of
I
money.
hope.
She's been
I
on
hope.
like 5 exploding planets. You
I
better get
hope.
some sort of hazard pay.
Yeah, I hope the Galactic Federation pays her well. It's really hard to go off this because like other M, canonically, I find she's kind of whiny in that game. So the one game that she does communicate in,
It's called trauma.
she's.
Yeesh, try to be a little understanding
I know.
for all she's been through.
Listen. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those things. I'm just saying that it does make it hard in a relationship to be with someone who has gone through as much trauma that she has. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Am I wrong? Listen, we're fresh in the game here, all right? We're like looking at this from the perspective, like if you're in an existing relationship with Samus and these things come to fruition, then you'll work through them. But if you're in the dating game, like these other people are probably higher up on the, like, this would be a smarter choice to be in a relationship with these people. Also,
I mean, you get to go to. I mean, you can go with her to these planets. Lots of like vacationing and whatnot on these exotic planets and whatnot. I mean, all on the Federation's dime.
would you get to go? I don't think so. I think those are the
for sure.
No, those are for sure the things that,
For sure.
unless you were also a mercenary, which you probably aren't. If it's you and I
just learned how to fly things. I could just
pilot.
fly the
You
ship.
could
I'd
be
stay
the
on the ship
pilot.
while she did the dangerous things.
You could be the new Adam. Yeah.
Yeah. Until we needed to fly through something dangerous, then
I
she'd
think
take over,
I don't think
obviously.
it's clear. I do not think it's clear cut enough for Metroid. For
Wow,
Samus,
you don't even know her name.
for
Your
Samus
opinion
to
means
be
nothing.
S tier. I think she's A tier at the most for me, but I would almost put her.
Okay, I can accept A tier.
Okay, A tier for Samus.
I knew I had to talk you up a whole bunch to get you to let her be A tier, so that's what I did.
Oh, really? All right, so now we're at Sheik. Sheik is Zelda, so let's rank Zelda.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Zelda, none of the Ocarina of Time would have even happened.
You're like, that brings her down. How could she start this game?
Yeah, she made me
Zero
play
Suit
through that
Samus.
entire game.
And LPD in chat says Zero Suit Samus is S tier though. It's the same person. Okay.
LPD here spitting facts right now. No, just kidding.
See, I feel like Samus gets a boost because of her looks in a lot of people's books, but looks don't last forever. Hers might. Hers will, actually. But there's more to a lifelong partnership than how good they look. That is a factor. And we're subtly that factor in here. I mean, obviously, we have S tier Luigi, right? So
yeah,
we're factoring in attractiveness. We're factoring that in, but we're focusing on the important stuff: the communication, the dependability, all those things. Zelda.
Depends on which Zelda.
LPD is just making me lose it. I get, for those listening, the chat says Kirby is hot. So yeah, I don't know about that. Zelda, Skyward Sword Zelda is S tier.
She pushes you off of a tower. You could die.
She gave you a parachute. She's got a
you
sense
could have died.
Just a little bit of spice to the relationship.
Yeah, here, let's play this real funny prank where I put a bomb under your bed. That's kind of the prankster that Skyward Sword Zelda seems like.
I don't know about that. She knew you were gonna glide to safety.
I don't know about that. In fact, I let myself die once.
Oh, you did? You felt this.
So she didn't know.
But where I go with the Skyward Sword Zelda is she is an active character in the story in helping to stop the return of the
Is
calamity.
she, though? I don't really remember that much.
Right. Yeah. She is hopping from spot to spot to purify herself as the goddess of light so that she can reseal Ganon's seal and keep him trapped. And she
That's
is successful in that.
kind of cool, I guess. But aren't you fighting everything first and then letting her come in? Kind of
No.
a thing?
No, you are always like 3 steps behind her and Impa.
At
least in
what
the
are
first
you
half of the
even
game.
doing in that game?
In the first half of the
apparently?
game, you're trying to catch up with her, and you're also like gaining some skills. And anyways, she is a strong character in that game, and personality-wise, is very caring for Link. Like that's the most close they get to being a couple in any game. Like she, before pushing you off the edge, she got very close. She got very close.
Yeah,
to
because she was trying to murder you and didn't want you to realize.
It was very implied she was being flirty. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I think Wind Waker Zelda is better than Skyward Sword Zelda.
Wind Waker Zelda is pretty great, and she's very
'Cause-
she is like she puts off the tough outside, but is very caring, and
helps
to the
you
point
beat
that
up
she
Ganondorf at the
apologizes.
end?
Yeah, she apologizes profusely for having put you through what you go through, which is very unlike other Zeldas. And then Twilight Princess Zelda, extremely loyal to the people, and ends up kind of giving herself up so that her people can somewhat survive. When Zant attacks, they can't do anything, and she's rather than force the people to fight, she surrenders, which takes a lot of courage.
Unless it was a terrible decision.
It worked out.
Eventually.
And she does help you out quite a bit. I don't know.
How do you feel about Breath of the Wild Zelda, though?
I think she's pretty cool. She has a lot of self-doubt, but she's a very good communicator once she opens up.
Yeah, she has a lot of self-doubt, but then she can't get her goddess powers or whatnot to work, so she throws herself into helping a different way, which I think is nice.
And
she's
she
not
ends
just
up getting her powers
wallowing.
Attempting to save Link's life. You've actually that boosts it for me. I think Zelda may be S tier, maybe A or S. Where are you?
Yeah, A or S is what I was thinking. As long as it's not Ocarina of Time Zelda. Oof.
Ocarina of Time Zelda is also Sheik though, and Sheik's pretty dang cool.
But does Sheik actually do anything?
Yes, a lot of stuff.
Does she really though? I feel like she just shows up places, and then you have to do everything anyways.
All right, we'll put her in S. Maybe
I can
A.
accept that.
We may revisit. Shulk.
He has a cool sword, but he has a counter.
He's pretty whiny, but he's also very loyal. He's a great communicator. Sometimes. No, actually, that's not true. There are points in the game where he has visions and chooses not to share them. And
what a turd.
It would help.
Rank him low. C tier for Shulk.
Yeah, okay. Wii Fit Trainer.
Nah. It's a look thing. The soulless dead eyes and whatnot.
But they're in fantastic shape.
But they're dead. They have no soul. They're like some weird automaton.
They have a very positive personality. They're very motivating. They're great
just
coaches.
Programmed that way.
You just don't like the gray look. Look beyond the skin color, all right? All right, Mike?
I maintain that they are essentially an android.
I don't think they're an android. I think that they are a person.
I think they're a thing created to be like a person. To motivate you to work out, but they're not a person. They have no personality besides trying to get you to exercise.
They seem pretty. Okay, so where do they fall in here for you? You almost
tier.
So I know you don't want to rank. Absolutely not. They are higher than D tier. They're not on the tier with Bowser. They're
above Donkey Kong. I mean, they're below Donkey Kong. That's what I meant to say. Donkey Kong at least has a personality.
No, they have a personality. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like
I'll fight you on this one. This is my main.
It's like
I
dating
can't.
Siri. Hey, this isn't about Smash Bros. Characters and who we play. This is about how this is a soulless automaton,
See,
an imitation of a human being.
Got in chat B tier. They're not a soulless automaton. They are a character. They are Wii Fit Trainer. There's a girl and there is a boy. Wii Fit Trainer, and they are extremely encouraging. They have a great career. They're extremely encouraging. They're gonna be a motivator in your relationship.
As long as you're
you would be very you would be very healthy. If you're not into that, which you clearly aren't. Which you clearly.
What if you wanted to eat food?
They tell you to eat good food. They do that in the games. They're like, remember to drink some water.
And then they kill you if you don't. That's the sort of vibe I get from Wii Fit trainers.
I think that they're just all around good people. I don't know why you are reading deep into monsters. Things that are not ever shown on screen.
No, you're reading into things that are never shown on screen.
No, I'm not. I am just straight up giving what their dialogue in the games, which they do communicate very well, but
only is about working out.
But only about working out. So how do they stand in a relationship outside of that? There's not a lot.
They don't, because they're not real.
Just like real people at real gyms. They're not real.
They are androids.
I say B tier. B tier?
Oh, the highest we could possibly go is D tier.
No, they're not in D tier.
I could maybe accept a C tier.
We'll meet in the middle at C.
But they are soulless creations.
I don't know why. Star Wolf. I don't really have any. All I know about him is he's kind of a jerk, so I'm gonna say D tier.
D tier.
Yoshi, skip him. Says LPD.
I don't know if. Yeah, well, practically S tier though. Always willing to get thrown into a hole to die for his friends.
Are we not willing? No, not necessarily. We don't know that, but he does. Are we gonna rank Yoshi? I feel like Yoshi is more of a pet.
Yeah, he's kind of a pet, but if we did rank him, he's essentially a Kirby.
Yes. Okay, we're not going to rank him. Wario.
D.
Yeah, Wario would be a bad spouse.
Oh, so bad.
Okay, so he's not a great communicator. He's greedy, selfish, rude. He has just too many bad qualities, but you know what he does have? Money. And that's what keeps him out of F tier. That's what keeps him out of F tier.
And he hasn't straight up murdered people, as far as I know.
Some people really like Wario. I don't know what they see in him, honestly.
Yeah,
like I actually really like Wario too. I don't know what it is actually about Wario that I like. There's something
he's a terrible person
where I'm like I will pick Wario if Waluigi isn't available, which is kind of weird. So he has this like ability to still be a charming character, even though
I don't see that.
He's all this. Well, we are agreeing D tier.
Yeah, I feel like Wario has like the worst personality. Just really
he's got a winning smile. He's got a winning smile.
That's not true. His smile's horrifying.
Byleth, I'd say, is B tier. I'm just gonna toss it up there in B tier.
Yep, I can accept that.
Min.
She seems like someone who fights for her friends. I do love noodles.
She's a great cook. That's canon. I like Min. I think personality-wise, she's great.
I mean, I feel like I know nothing about her, but I just want to say B or maybe A.
I might just go A with Min because she intrigues
besides
me.
The noodle arms, she seems like one of the most normal people.
Seriously. It's just like the only character on this list that's like normal person. We're getting close to the end here. All right, this is interesting here. So we have Pyra and Mithra. So we're entering some slight spoilers here for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but these characters are actually the same character.
Excuse me?
But in post game, they are separated as separate characters. So while they start as a split personality individual, they become their own individuals. So we're going to rank them as one character and then rank them separately. That's how we're going to do it. All right, Micah.
Okay.
This
I know
episode's
nothing
going
about
so
them.
long. But they're the last ones on the list to go through. So I think that it would be tough to be in a relationship, a lifelong partnership relationship with someone that is two people. I feel like that would make things very complicated. And the fact that their personalities are so drastically different. Pyra is a very timid and very kind-natured character. She's very caring. And Mithra is very headstrong, very sassy, almost rude. Almost rude. And very outspoken. So that would be so bonkers. You know, if you are in if you have this person as a life partner that 180 like that.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be kind of hard since they're so different to like mesh with both of them. I feel like
Right.
there'd be one kind of personality you liked more. That would just
Right.
be weird.
Right. That is weird. That's a weird spot to be in.
But I mean, variety is the spice of life, you know? So C tier?
C tier? I guess it's still, that's still a better relationship than being with Bowser or Wario, like
Or
anybody on that
gorilla.
list. Yeah.
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 I mean, a pretty smart gorilla, but like essentially a gorilla.
Because both of those personalities, while still being like very different, are both very loyal. And now let's rank them separately. All right. So let's talk about Mithra. Mithra as an individual, because she does eventually separate and become her own character. She'll rank low for me. Her personality is a bit much to handle, I think.
In what way?
She's just very outspoken, and she's a little bit mean.
But that means if you ever have to like call someone for some reason, she seems like she'd be really good at that.
Right. Like if you're in a relationship with Mithra, she's doing all she's like the boss. Right? Like she's doing all of the finances for the house.
That sounds awesome.
She's making all the decisions, and you're on a leash, man. Like like you operate within how she wants things to operate. I don't know
as
if
long
that's-
as I
I
don't
don't
have to
know.
deal with the finances.
So for me, she's B tier, potentially C tier, but it
can
seems weird to
accept
put her.
B. I wouldn't put her with any of those C people,
Okay.
especially not the Wii Fit trainer with the dead eyes.
And then Pyra. I think Pyra seems like I jive more with Pyra's personality. Personally, she seems much easier to get along with, and she's extremely loyal.
Well, I was just thinking maybe we should just follow LPD's suggestions, except have them one tier lower than he says.
I don't
Just
know. I was
A and
actually
B.
okay. So
you're
LPD
thinking-
LPD says Andros can't take the heat with Mithra. Listen.
I mean, it's kind of sounding that way a little bit.
Wow. Okay. Well, so you think where are you want to rank her? Because I thought you were agreeing with me on most of those things.
I haven't played anything with her in it or read anything with her in it.
You saw
I know
based
nothing.
entirely off of her Smash Bros. Persona.
Yeah, based entirely
her
off
reveal,
of
her reveal in Smash Bros. Is very with her character.
I don't even remember what happened in that, to be honest.
If you taunt in Smash Bros., Rex comes on and cheers. Like, yeah. Pyra turns and waves and is all excited to see Rex. Mithra's like, whatever.
Maybe
that is.
maybe she just doesn't like Rex that much.
Well, maybe she wouldn't like you that much, is what I'm saying.
I don't cheer
She
people
is
like
a
that.
partner with Rex and doesn't exactly treat him like the nicest. The nicest. It's not bad. If you're into the feistier personality, I guess it's good. But I just don't think that's very
Yeah,
compatible.
she seems like someone that if your waiter brought you the wrong food, she would stand up for you and make sure they got it right.
Yeah. If you're the type that likes to have somebody else take charge and you wouldn't mind that, then she's a good fit for you, I think. This is getting into weird territory here. And Micah, I take
I like
you as the type.
I'm arguing with you, and I know absolutely nothing. I know nothing about them, so I will defer to your judgment on this.
I'm going to say B tier for her still.
Oh, still just
good,
B?
A solid choice, but not, no, definitely not on the same level of the A tier picks.
Oh, we still talking about Mithra?
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. Pyra might be S tier.
Oh,
LPD in chat agrees with me. He says S tier for Pyra.
Yeah, but he's actually played the game, and neither of us have.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So why can't we? Why can't we trust that judgment?
He's too biased, obviously.
Well, I'm making I have not played the game, but I know enough about the character to say I think she's an S tier character. Although I am not I've said it on the show. I'm not a fan of the overtly it's the too
It's
much
very form-fitting
clothing in character design is very much, but personality, like all the things that matter in a relationship. Not that attractiveness doesn't matter. All the things that matter in a relationship, she does good in. She's not going to be the breadwinner, I don't think, in a relationship. But that doesn't mean you're a bad choice as a life partner, right?
Yeah.
She would be a fantastic support to whomever she is with.
I mean, I guess if you feel this strongly, you can put her in the S tier.
Yeah, maybe A tier. I'm looking at what we have in the A tier. I don't know. I think S tier. I think S tier makes sense. She's got a really great personality. Okay.
I feel like that's a line you hear about in movies when they're talking about someone who's very ugly. She's got a great personality.
She's very fun, you know.
Yeah.
She's just a sweet soul, you know. Let's go over who we got in S tier. Luigi, Isabelle, Rosalina, Zelda, and Pyra. And then in the A tier, we have Ike, Link, Lady Palutena, Samus, and Min Min. Listen, we were going off looks. This is off of all around, okay? All right. We're not making this weird. Thank you, people. Appreciate it. Hopefully you... So here's the thing. Looking at this list, I feel good about the list. How are you thinking, Micah?
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad.
I really appreciate that we have Ridley in the Shadow Realm. No one should enter into any sort of relationship with Ridley. You're not going to go wrong being in a relationship, a lifetime partner, a lifelong partner, a spouse to anybody. I think in B tier and up will work really well. C tier, you're going to start to have some tough times. It's workable, but you can make it.
It's workable for certain people.
Yeah,
I guess.
D tier, I'd say you're going to want to avoid. You're going to want to avoid being in relationships with these people, but it is still possible. And when you have so many other options, I would avoid that. And then F tier, you're like, no chance, right? Listen, I feel very strongly about being smart in the dating game and in the looking for a spouse or a lifelong partner, or just in friendships in general, because this can apply to friendships as well. In that, you should really be smart and think about more than just how they look. I think we're getting deep here with this.
And don't date space pirate dragon creatures.
Right.
Ever.
Right. Well, this has been a fantastic episode of Nintendo Pals podcast. And I really appreciated you taking this journey with me as we looked at as we swiped left and swiped right for Nintendo characters. It wasn't really we were much more methodical, I think, than that. Thanks so much to everybody for listening. If you would like to support the show, you can hop on over to your podcast listening app of choice, subscribe to our podcast, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Podchaser, and Audible. All those places allow you to leave 5-star reviews, and some of them let you leave written reviews. We would love to hear your feedback. We'll shout you out on the show. You can follow the show not only here on the podcast, but you can follow us on social medias. We're on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. Join up the Discord. It's awesome over there. And TikTok. And we're checking all those spots. So if you send us a message, if you hit us up over in any of those places, we'll see ya. We appreciate it. We really are grateful to everybody who supports our show. So, Micah, what do you say we close it out with a closing remark by you?
Don't worry, we're about to end. April Fools. We're never ending. We're still going. We got more to talk about.
April Fools. We'll talk to y'all next week.